Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our weekly Bhakti Vaibhav class. So, in the last week, we were discussing from chapter 16. Also, we discussed from chapter 1 also, wherein we discussed that how Prevrat Maharaj, with an intention to make the night into daytime, he created a chariot. He himself expanded at the second sun, and following the movement of sun, he traveled all around the Bhumandala in 7 circles. As a result of that, 7 oceans were created, dividing the Bhumandala into multiple divisions, creating 7 dvipas. And of the 7 dvipas, the innermost island was Jambhudvipa. The picture what you see is Jambhudvipa. In the middle of that, there is Mount Meru, and surrounding that, there are 8 boundary mountains which divide the entire Jambhudvipa into 9 Varshas. Of the 9 Varshas, the intermediate Varsha is known as Ilavrita Varsha. Within Ilavrita Varsha, in addition to this Mount Meru, there are 4 huge mountains on 4 directions whose height and length is 10,000 yojanas, the width is 2,000 yojanas, and in addition to them, there were 8 mountains surrounding Mount Meru in all 4 directions, two in each side. Their width is 2000 yojanas, their length is 9000 yojanas, height is 2000 yojanas, and surrounding all of them are 20 Kesharachala mountains. You see them? These are all pencil type of mountains whose height is as high as Mount Meru. So, etc. Such kind of things we have discussed. All these different mountains and also the wonderful facilities that are there in the Ilavrita Varsha, that especially from this Shatavalsha banyan tree, there are hundreds of roots are there. From each and every root, one different kind of stream is there. In one stream there is water, in one stream there is milk, yogurt, butter, ghee, molasses, sugarcane juice, etc. etc. Whatever one needs to live happily in this world, to lead a prosperous life, everything is available in the form of streams. They don't have to go to office and work for their livelihood. Everything is naturally available from the material nature in the form of streams only. So that was the whole thing we have discussed from chapter 16. And top of the Mount Meru, here on all 8 directions, there are 8 townships belonging to 8 Lokapalas, such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, etc. And then in the middle, there is a township of Brahma. These are not their permanent residences, but occasionally they come here and spend some time and discuss the universal management, etc. etc. And then they go back. So these were the few things that we have discussed in the previous class. So yes, and then we will go on. These are the 9 townships of the 9 different variety of important devatas. Brahma has in the middle, and Indra, Agni, Yama, Niruti, Varuna, Vayu, Kuvera, and Shiva. They have their townships surrounding Brahma's township on top of Mount Meru, etc. So then today we'll begin with chapter 17, wherein chapter 17, in the beginning, Sukadeva Goswami talks about the descent and the flow of Ganga. Because Ganga passing through all the 9 Varshas of Jambudvipa, all the different Varshas that are there within Jambudvipa, all those Varshas are, they have the different streams of this Ganga. So for that reason, this particular topic has been presented in this section. And this pastime is elaborately explained in 8th canto. So understanding that Bali Maharaj is performing the 100th sacrifice, by if he completes, he becomes Indra and Purandara has to go on recluse. So being requested by Aditi, the Supreme Lord appeared, the son of Aditi, and also immediately went to the sacrificial arena Bali Maharaj asking for a charity. When Bala Maharaj was ready to give anything, Vamandev said, give me 3 pieces of land. So that's what you see in this picture. With 1 feet, In one sense, he occupied the whole Bhumandala. With the second feet, he occupied the Bhorloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, all the upper planetary systems. And then the thumbnail of the Lord's feet, it actually touched the universal shell. As a result of that, there was a hole made in the universal shell. Because of that hole, the causal ocean, which was on the outside of the universe, in which our universe is floating, entered into our universe. The causal ocean entered into our universe through this hole made by the thumbnail of Lord Vamana, who transformed now as Trivikrama. Then Lord Brahma, who was situated at Satyaloka while meditating on Supreme Lord, he understood what's all happening. Suddenly, one feet came, it hit the universal shell, a huge sound. There is a small crack in the universal shell, then water coming in. So he understood what's happening, the Lord performing wonderful pastime. He collected the water in his Kamandalu. Then, with that water, he performed the Abhishek of the Lord's lotus feet. So, this water, which entered into universe, has been collected by Brahma, and the same water he did Abhishek of Lord's lotus feet. And hence, this water stream became known as Bhagavat Padi. It has entered into our universe by the intervention of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, and it is the foot wash, the Charanamrut of the Supreme Lord. So it became Bhagavat Padi, and then passing through Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, it comes to Dhruvaloka. Dhruvaloka, wherein Dhruva Maharaj is residing. Understanding that the Lord is performing a wonderful pastime, and as a result of that, the Ganga, the Lord's Charanamrut, came to Dhruvaloka. Dhruva Maharaj collected the water, kept on his head, and worshipped the Supreme Lord by performing circumambulation, performing arati, etc. etc. Thus, the water came to Dhruvaloka, which was previously known as Vishnu Pada, the abode of Lord Vishnu, because it was originally belonging to Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Because Dhruva Maharaj performed an austerities to get a place which is superior to that of Brahma. So Lord Vishnu had given his own abode to Dhruva Maharaj, which was previously known as Vishnu Pada, now became known as Dhruva Loka. So since Ganga is passing to that place, now it has got new name. It became known as Vishnupadi. And then passing through Saptarushi Mandal, Swargaloka, Bhuvarloka, it comes to Chandraloka. It comes to the abode of Chandra. So inundating Chandra with the water, with its own water, then Ganga comes to the top of Mount Meru, exactly in the middle. So on top of Mount Meru, exactly in the middle, we have the township of Lord Brahma. There, Ganga becomes into four parts. Till now, it was coming only as one stream. But now, having fell on the top of Mount Meru, it has been divided into four parts. And the four parts of Ganga will go in four directions of Jambhudvipa. So one, it came this side and came down to Jambhudvipa and traveling through eastern direction, passing through all the Varsas and mountains on the way. It is known as Sita. And that branch which is going to the west, it is called as Chakshu. And the same branch which is going to the north, it is called Bhadra. And finally, the fourth branch, which is coming to the southern side of Jambhudvipa, it is known as, or it became known as Alakananda. Later on, it also became known as Bhagirathi, that we will see now. But it was originally known as Alakananda. Sita, Chakshu, Bhadra, and Alakananda. So thus, the one stream of Ganga which came down all the top of Mount Meru has been divided into four divisions, and those four divisions are covering all the four directions of Jambhudvipa. That's why it has been discussed. So it came to the top of Mount Meru from Brahma's abode. It is becoming into four divisions and falling down and going in four directions. So in addition to these four divisions, there are many small tributaries, but their names are not mentioned in the Bhagavatam. So these four are going in this east direction. East direction. It comes to Kesharachala mountain, then Gandhamadana mountain, then Bhadrashovarsha, Malevan mountain, Kesharachala mountain, Malevan mountain, Ketumala Varsha, Neela Mount, Kesharachala Mountain, Neela Mountain, Shweta Mountain, Shringavan Mountain, Kuru Varsha. So like that. Jumping from mountain to mountain, the water goes all the way up to Bharata Varsha, and then all these four branches eventually finally enter into saltwater ocean, and then they enter to saltwater ocean. You see here. So that stream falling on top of the mountain and coming down, following through Bhadrasha Varsha. So that water which fell on top of this mountain jumped and fell on this and fell on this and went down here, passing through Malevan. So like that. So here one thing, when the water is falling from the top of the Meru, some of the water might fall within Ilavata Varsha, some of the water might fall in Arivarsha also. So they fall. But that water specifically, which is falling on top of this mountain, Nishada mountain, that jumps from here. So from that, some water might fall within Arivarsha, some water might fall in Purusha Varsha. But that water which falls on the Semakuta mountain, it again jumps. And from that, some of its water might fall in Kimpurusha Varsha, some of it fall Bharata Varsha. But that water which falls on top of this um, Himakuta mountain, it comes down and passing through entire Bharata Varsha, enters into saltwater ocean. So like that. So in one sense, the water is going through all the Varshas, but here specifically because we are talking about the water which is coming all the way up to saltwater ocean. So we are seeing the jumped portion of the water. So like that, the Ganga water flows through all the 9 Varshas of Jambhudvipa. You are able to hear the sound, Prabhuji?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay.
No, Prabhuji.
1 second. That day you told me one thing, it actually working. We'll just do it.
Okay, okay.
Mm,
We'll have to stop sharing and then share again.
yes. Now it comes.
Yes, 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 Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
So like this, when water is falling from top to some height, it actually goes through bumping. So like that. So then again jumps like that, slowly goes ahead. So like that, the Ganga flowing through all the branches, all the islands of entire Jambudvipa, all the Varshas of entire Jambudvipa.
Hare Krishna.
1 second, Mataji, 1 second.
Okay, okay, fine.
So these are some pictures about the same thing, how the going on. So here are some pictures. Some people draw like this, the Ganga falling down from the top of Mount Meru, passing through all the things. See, here is India, we see. So here is the line of Ganga. This black line is the line of Ganga. At Bay of Bengal, it merges into saltwater ocean. Like that, it goes ahead afterwards. So, yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, there are 2, 3 things. Like we have seen that Mount Meru is at the base, it is 16,000 yojanas. And on the
Okay.
top, it is 32,000 yojanas. So
Yes.
it is, means anyway, on the top, it is double the size which is at the base.
Hmm.
So when it will fall from there, it
Hmm.
will be much more on this side. I mean, it's not in the central Varsha. I forgot the name. Ilavrita Varsha. It will.
So, 1 second. See, understood. This is here to here 32,000 yojanas.
Yeah.
But Ilavrita Varsha itself from here to here it is 34,000 yojanas. And
Oh.
mountain is 2,000. This said 2,000. The peak of the mountain will be like 1,000 yojanas. 34 plus 1 plus 1, 36,000 yojanas. So in one sense, from year to year, it will be 16,000 yojanas. And from the center of Mount Meru to here, it will be 18,000 yojanas. So 2,000
Okay,
yojanas
that is,
extra is there. So when water falls from here, some water will fall inside the mountain, some
yeah.
water will fall on top of the mountain, some water will fall after the mountain also.
And another thing, Prabhuji, like you showed the video, right? So we understood that how the water jumps. But like we here see that 11 Varsha के बाद जो mountain है, I forgot the name. उस mountain से इस mountain के बीच में का the middle place is 9,000 yojanas, ना Prabhuji?
Yes, from here to here, 9,000 yojanas.
Yeah. So the water of Ganga jumps from one mountain to another mountain. That is 9,000 yojanas. It jumps that much. It
Yes.
doesn't come
See, when it is
down.
falling from this much top, na,
Huh.
84,000 yojanas from the top. So obviously it will jump that much easily. From what
Oh,
height it is coming down, that will determine at what. Because here, if you see in the video, see, this in the height is less, still it is going all the way here. So whatever height here to here, you see that much more than that it is going. This height and this width, if you compare,
yeah.
so here height and here width, you see, this width is much more than this height. So it can jump easily that much.
Okay. So
Hmm.
it will fall in the that Varsha also, as well as it will jump also, na
That's
Prabhuji?
what I'm saying. Na, some water will fall before the mountain, some water will fall on the mountain, some water will fall after the mountain. So it is obviously, it is not that at one place only. See, when water is falling, now this whole area is water is there.
Yeah, because I
So
was
like that.
wondering all these violins. First jump is okay, but later means how the water from base of the mountain goes up the mountain. Usually we see river
Not
flows
from the
down the.
base to the up. And all mountains are same level only, na? It can go
Yeah.
obviously. This
Okay.
mountain, they are all on same level only.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Prabhuji. Thank you.
Other devotees have some questions.
No, Prabhuji.
So, see, if you see, this is called Alakananda. Then it also has a name called Bhagirathi. How and when it became known as Bhagirathi. So this pastime also again comes in the 9th canto of Bhagavatam. But Ramayana explains in great detail. Ramayana Adi Parva, it explains in great details. So this story is known to all devotees, must have heard many times also. Like while Sagara Maharaj was performing 100 sacrifices, during the 100th sacrifice, Indra felt insecure and stole the horse and kept it in the ashram of Lord Kapila, somewhere down below. So Sagara Maharaj instructed his 160,000 sons to go and search out for the horse. So first they searched all over Jambhudvipa. They could not find. So father told, dig around. They dug around surrounding Jambhudvipa. As a result of that, they created so many islands within saltwater ocean surrounding Jambhudvipa. Still, they could not find. The father told, dig downward, go all the way up to Patala Loka, something like that. So they dug downward all the way up to Patala Loka. Within Patala, we have our Lord Kapila, his own ashram and meditation, performing meditation there. So when the 61 sons came there, they saw the horse. They thought it is Kapila only stole it. So they wanted to punish him. When they raised their weapons, the fire element from their own body increased and burnt them, burnt all of them there itself. So these are the ashes of all these people. So then Sagara Maharaj also had one more wife. Her son was Asamanjasa, and his son was Amshuman. So that Amshuman is this one. Searching after his uncles. Okay. So he came all the way up to Patalaloka. There he offered obeisances to Lord Kapila and offered prayers and begged forgiveness on behalf of his uncles and sought for permission to take the horse for the yajna of his grandfather. Lord Kapila said, please take. I have nothing to do with that horse. Then at that time he said that, can you please forgive the offense of my forefathers and deliver them? So Lord Kapila told that, no, I have not taken any offense of them, but they can be delivered touch, if they are touched by the water of Ganga, Lord's Charanamrit. So, but when Sagara Maharaj was ruling over Bharata Varsha and surrounding area and all, the Alakananda was not flowing through Bharata Varsha. Alakananda actually disappeared. It was not flowing there. Just like we hear from Chaitanya Charitamrita that Prabhupada writes in the purport that from the beginning of Kali Yuga, Mother Ganga will be there around us for 10,000 years, of which 5,000 years already passed. For 5 more thousand years, Ganga will be there. Afterwards, Ganga will become invisible. Just like our Saraswati river also became invisible now, and Yamuna also becoming invisible now. Eventually, Ganga also will become invisible. Later on, by the intervention of a devotee, it will again manifest. So, same way, when Sagara Maharaj was ruling, the Ganga became invisible. So, Ganga has to be brought. Amshuman took the arse and delivered it to his grandfather. Sagara Maharaj performed the 100th yajna, whatever, and he went to Vanaprastha order in order to perfect his life. So, Amshuman ruled the kingdom for some time. Then he made his son Dilipa as the next king. He went to forest to perform severe austerities to bring Ganga down to deliver his forefathers, his uncles. But he could not become succeed. Then Dilipa made his son Bhagirath the king, and he went to forest to perform severe austerities to bring Ganga down. He did not become successful. Then Bhagirath Maharaj made his son the next king. Then he went to forest to perform austerities. He actually went to Kailash, somewhere near to Kailash. Then he performed severe austerities. Ganga agreed to come down, but with two conditions: that who will purify me and who will reduce my speed. Otherwise, I will create a hole in the earth, something like that. So Bhagirath Maharaj told Lord Shiva, I'll pray to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva will reduce your speed, and the devotees they come and bathe in your water, by which you will become purified. So that is fine. So Bhagirath Maharaj prayed to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva agreed. So that Ganga, as we saw that which was, if you see, which was jumping from the previous mountain to this mountain and going down. This stream, which was coming from the top. So Lord Shiva stays here. We saw previously within Lord Varsha, in the southern side there is Kailash and Kaivara mountain. There one of the 11 Rudra stays there. But Lord Shiva along with Parvati and Ganesh and all, they stay here in this bigger Himalayas. This side there is one section which is known as Kailash Parvat, in which Lord Shiva actually stays there. It is here Bhagirath Maharaj performed tapasya. So he requested Lord Shiva to do the needful. Lord Shiva said, okay. So here, being situated on top of this mountain, which was known as Kailash mountain, Lord Shiva held Ganga on his jata. And from there he released Ganga. And that Ganga then came to Bharata Varsha, passing through entire Bharata Varsha and passing through different places. He eventually entered into saltwater ocean. Then going downward, passing through Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, and Patala. It came down to this place and touching the ashes of all these forefathers of Bhagirath Maharaj, delivered all of them. So since this pastime, even today also we see, if somebody in our near and dear or our family member, somebody passed away, their ashes are immersed either in Ganga or in some other holy river which is very close to us, which is nothing but an expansion of Ganga. So something like that. So this is how, though previously Alakananda was there, because by the in due course of time that has become invisible and disappeared, and then by the intervention of Amshuman, Dilipa, and Bhagirath Maharaj, the same Ganga again reappeared within Bharata Varsha with the name Bhagirathi. You see here, at least even today also in Devaprayag, when you travel there in the Himalayas, they say that this is Alakananda, the original stream of Ganga which appeared because of Vaman Dev, and this is Bhagirathi, which is brought by Bhagirath Maharaj. And both are mixed together here in Devaprayag, and then passing through Rishikesh, Haridwar, Prayag, and then Mayapur, Bay of Bengal, then enters into saltwater ocean. You see here, both of them are in different colors. The Bhagirathi is in muddy color, and Alakananda is in blue color. So these two are meeting in Bay of Prayag. So like that. Then goes through Rishikesh, Haridwar, and all other places, etc., etc. So as I mentioned that, as the sons of Sagar Maharaj, the 67 sons, they were while searching all over Jambudvipa, they were digging here and there in order to understand whether it is hidden in the underground somewhere. So because they were doing it, as a result of that, so many islands were created around Jambudvipa. Surrounding Jambudvipa, so many small islands were created. So of them, 8 islands names are mentioned. Farnaprishta, Chandrashukla, Mandaraharina, Avartana, Ramanaka, Panchajanya, Simhala, and Lanka. These were some of the 8 islands which are famous among many islands. Of them, we get to study in the Bhagavatam 10th canto about Ramanaka Island. Ramanaka Island is the original residence of Kaliya. Out of fear of Garuda, it came and took shelter in Yamuna. And after being punished by Lord Krishna, it again went back to Ramanaka. And Lanka is the abode of originally Kuvera, then it was taken by Ravana. Currently, Vibhishana is staying there. So Vibhishana is the king of the Rakshasas, and most of the Rakshasas and Vibhishana, they are all currently staying in Lanka. So more details about Lanka you get it from Ramayana. So Suryadatha says that the line that is passing through Lanka and also center of Mount Meru is called prime meridian. And this line also passes through some cities known as Avanti, which is Ujjain. Sannita Lake matlab Kurukshetra. Rohitaka matlab Rohtak. So the same line, the prime meridian line passes through these places also. So here you see, here is Mount Meru. This is Jambudvipa. Surrounding Jambudvipa, these are so many other islands which are created by our 60,000 sons of Sagar Maharaj. And this is Lanka. And this is the line, prime meridian, which is passing through Lanka, as well as center of Bharata Varsha, center of Mount Meru. So it is like that. So on this line also passes through some cities known to us Kurukshetra, Rohtak, and Ujjain, etc.
In the center.
So whatever we have discussed till now about Jambudvipa and passing of Ganga and all these things, there is a small video clip.
In the center of Jambhudvipa stands the most extraordinary divine golden mountain called Meru. Meru is shaped like an inverted cone, and it is the sporting place for the demigods. Around Meru are many supporting mountains called Kesara. Jambhudvipa is 0.8 million miles in diameter and is surrounded by the saltwater ocean of the same width. On top of Mount Meru is a resort of Brahma called Manovati. The famous celestial river Ganges descends to the center of Manovati and then flows out into 4 directions. Surrounding Manovati in the 8 directions are the resort cities of the chief demigods. One of these cities is Amaravati, the resort of Indra, king of heaven. King Indra lives here in majestic opulence, attended to by musicians, dancers, and reciters. In Bharat, the famous mountains known as the Himalayas are tall and immovable. Here we find an abode of Lord Shiva, the greatest of the demigods.
So, like that. So, thus the Jambhudvipa with all the different divisions and the flow of Ganga and Alakananda and Bhagirathi, etc., etc. Some details. Any questions till now?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, the Ganga which descends from heaven, it comes to Manavati, then it divides in four streams, and after jumping from the mountains, it comes to Himalaya. So when it comes to Himalaya, that time Lord Shiva holds it on his head, or how?
See, not at that time. See, Vamana appeared long back. This is again by Bhagirath Maharaj. It is happening. When Vamana appeared, so this stream came. So this stream coming from all the way here to Himalayas and passing through Bharata Varsha. But eventually, in due course of time, this part of the Ganga disappeared. That part of Ganga which is coming to Bharata Varsha disappeared completely.
Okay.
So then Bhagirath Maharaj performed austerities. As a result of that, Lord Shiva, who is there in this Himalayas, whose residence is here, he accepted that stream of Ganga and then allowed Ganga to go further with reduced speed.
So
So the Ganga which is coming from the top with a huge speed. See this Ganga, what you see here, you see it like that. So that Ganga which is jumping from here to here, that stream which is coming from the top, and here Lord Shiva keeping it on his jata and then going downward.
Okay, so when this much part which was there in the Bharatvarsha that disappeared, so this stream which is jumping from that previous mountain to this Himalaya, that stream was held by Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva. Yes.
Okay.
So now we see Ganga, it will again disappear after 5,000 years. Later on, by some other devotee, the same Ganga will again remanifest. So something like that.
Okay. And Prabhu, like you were just now, you were saying that Lord Vamana's pastime happened long back, and Bhagirath Maharaj pastime happened later on. So when the Ganga which descended due to the Lord Vamana's feet touching the outer covering, and then it flew from there, the Ganga water, it came down. So that Ganga was still there, and then this other stream which we see, that is only for the Bharatvarsha, it had disappeared, that one, no, Prabhuji?
Yes, actually, see, now we say that people say that this Alakananda is there, but it seems that it again manifested. See, currently we are in Vaivashvata Manvantara, currently we are in the 28th Chaturyuga. So during the 7th Chaturyuga, Lord Vamana appeared. That time the overall Ganga manifested. So in due course of time, Ganga disappeared. In 24th Chaturyuga, Lord Rama appeared. So Lord Rama's one of the forefathers were Sagar Maharaj. So Sagar Maharaj might have appeared between these two. So when Vamana was there and when our Lord Rama was there, 7 and 24. In between this, somewhere Sagar Maharaj was there. So that time the Alakananda disappeared and Bhagirathi reappeared. And now we have a small portion of Alakananda also, but the natural flow of Bhagirathi. So it is like that.
Okay, so both the things are there. And one more thing, Prabhuji, like you said that Sagar Maharaj, they were searching for the horse, and that is why they dig everywhere, and then the small islands were created. Like so, that means these islands were actually part of Jambhudvipa first, and then they separated due to the digging. That is how it should be.
No. See, they were touching all over Jambhudvipa. When they were digging all over, it's like this, maybe in the border area. So they threw the mud into ocean.
Oh.
When they threw the mud
Due
into
to
ocean, it
that
became
it
island.
was okay.
So like that.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Other devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Manoj.
Out of those other demigods, there is one demigod mentioned there as Niritti. Never heard of this demigod. What is he in charge of?
Actually, Niruti is not a Devata, but they are one category of Rakshasas. So Niruti is one of such Rakshasas. Like for example, Among the Yakshas, their leader is Kuvera. Kuvera is a good person, a devotee, but Yakshas are not devotees. So like that, among the Rakshasas, there is one person known as Niruti. He is somewhat devoted and non-devoted also. So Lord Brahma made him as the Lokapala for the Nairuti direction. So he is not exactly Devata, but he is a Rakshasa, but with good mindset, something like that.
Nairuti is a direction.
He is the present deity for Nairuti direction. Nairuti means southwest.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So then, after describing the passage of Ganga, there is a description about 8 heavenly Varshas from text number 11 to 15. So basically, we have already studied about the different facilities that are available in the Ilavrta Varsha. We saw that there are 4 mountains on top of which 4 huge trees were there. One is mango tree, there is mango juice always available. Other one is Jambu tree. On the 2 banks of Jambu tree, Jambunada river, there is gold naturally formed by mud. The third one is Kadamba tree, I think. And from that, the honey streams are going on. The fourth one is Shatavarsa, banyan tree, from which hundreds of streams are there, and every stream has got one natural resource that is required for our sustenance, etc. So everything is naturally available in Lavarta Varsha. They don't have to worry about anything. So like that, Jambhudvipa contains total 9 Varshas. So Bhagavatam says that whatever facilities we have heard that are available in Lavarta Varsha, the similar facilities are there in 8 Varshas except Bharata Varsha. So the other 8 Varshas other than Bharata Varsha are called as heavenly places and Bhumandala. And Bharata Varsha is called as Karma Bhumi. And these places are called as Bhauma Swargas. So there are actually, it is actually called as Bhauma Swarga Padani. So the abode of Bhauma Swarga. So there are actually 3 categories of heavens within our universe. Divya Swarga, Bhauma Swarga and Bila Swarga. Divya Swarga is basically the Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka. Both of these upper planetary systems combined together are called as Divya Swarga. That means heavenly opulent places. And Bhauma Swarga means the entire Bhumandala except Bharata Varsha. So within Jambhudvipa, the 8 Varshas are called Bhauma Swarga. And Bhagavatam says that in addition to that, the remaining 6 islands, the 6 Dvipas of the Bhumandala are also Bhauma Swarga only. All these places are naturally endowed with wonderful facilities. We'll see what are the facilities in the next, in the same slide. So only Bharata Varsha is Karma Bhumi. Next, the 7 lower planetary systems, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, they are also called as Bilaswargas. These are also our heavenly abodes because they are situated within the bill kind of arrangement, within some cavities, hollow cavities within the Bhumandala, within the tunnels of the Bhumandala, they are called as Bilaswargas. So what is the difference between these 3? In the Divya Swarga, the mode of goodness is prominent. Though they are filled with all the heavenly opulences, they always engage in Lord's service. They engage everything in the Lord's service in Divya Swarga. In Bhauma Swarga, the mode of passion is prominent. So they engage all the facility that they have in the service of the Supreme Lord as well for their own enjoyment. In Bhauma Swarga, the mode of ignorance is prominent. All the facilities that they have, they only use for their own sense gratification. They don't have any concept of serving the Supreme Lord. So this is the difference between these 3 Swargas. Divya Swarga, mode of goodness for Lord service only. Bhauma Swarga, mode of passion for Lord service and for their enjoyment. Bila Swarga, mode of ignorance, no service to the Lord, only for their own enjoyment. This is the difference in these 3 places. So what is this Bhauma Swarga? What is the relationship between other places? So here Bhagavatam says that Swarginam Punya Sheshopabhoga Sthanani. When a person performs piety, as a result of that, they go to Divya Swarga, either in Bhurloka or Swargaloka. They enjoy 90% of their piety. Then with the remaining 10% of piety, when they coming down, they take birth in Bhauma Swarga. As a result of the 10% of piety, they enjoy here like anything for 90% of that. That means 9% from the original total piety. Out of the 100% of total piety, 90% is enjoyed in this Divya Swarga. With the 10% they come to Bhauma Swarga. From that 9% they again enjoy here. With the remaining 1% piety, they take birth in Bharata Varsha, where they can perform more pious activity, they can accumulate more piety, and then again they go to Swargaloka. So it is like that. So basically, the Bhauma Swargas are the intermediate places for those people who, by performing piety, who goes to Divya Swarga, and before coming back to Bharata Varsha, intermittently they take birth in Bhauma Swarga and they enjoy there. So how long they stay there, what kind of enjoyment they have is mentioned here. So here, whoever takes birth in Bhauma Swarga, they live like the Devatas for 10,000 years. Everyone, whoever is born in all these places, their lifespan is 10,000 years fixed. It does not change. And they have the bodily strength of 10,000 elephants. And they have who conceive in their last year. So their wives does not beget children for 9,999 years. But in the 10,000th year, they beget children. And that too like the Devatas. In their last year, like the Devatas. How? As soon as the mother and father come together with the intention to beget children, in the last year, within a Murta time, in 48 minutes, as we say, our 48 minutes, same time only. They are also they have same time. Within 48 minutes, the child is born. And then in another 48 minutes, the child becomes 16 years youth. That means within two muhurtas, within 1.5 hour, 48 plus 48, within about 1.5 to 2 hours, the child is born and grown up to 16 years old. That means in Devaloka, that is either in Divya Swarga or Bhauma Swarga and Bila Swarga, all these places, none of the parents or mother goes through 9 months pregnancy period and taking care of the small child day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, for as long as the child becomes good enough to take care of his own thing, his or own things. These things are not there in these places. That's why they are called Swargas. Because they don't have to meddle with all the minute responsibilities and all. They are free. So in that way. But in Bharata Varsha, the human beings have to go through all these difficulties, 9 months pregnancy period and taking care of the child, etc. So many troubles. Because it is karma bhumi. So like that. And here, the people living in these Bhauma Swarga, in all these 8 Varshas of Jambhudvipa, they experience the happiness like that of Treta Yuga. If you read Bhagavatam or especially Ramayana happened during Treta Yuga, you can see what kind of happiness the people during that time had. That kind of happiness will be experienced by people living in this Bhauma Swarga. So these are the some of the points that are mentioned about Bhauma Swarga, which is the 8 Varshas on the Jambudvipa. And one important point is that in all these 8 Varshas, whatever one needs, it is naturally available in the form of water streams. But in Bharata Varsha, our survival depends on the rains. Though there are so many rivers all around us, but we all of us actually depend upon rains. If rains do not come, we starve and die. due to lack of food. That's why Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. In Bharata Varsha, all the living entities are sustained by Anna. But how Anna comes? Parjanyad Anna Sambhava. By rain, Anna comes. Anna does not come like the natural water streams. It comes by the rain. How does Yajna will come? Parjanyad Yajna Sambhava. Yajnat Bhavati Parjanyo. And how to perform Yajna? Yajna Karma Samudvaha. By performing one's Varnashrama duties dedicatedly and offering all the results to Supreme Lord, the Yajna is accomplished. So like that. So for Bharata Varsha, we need to perform our Varnashrama duties as an offering to Supreme Lord, by which Yajna is accomplished, by which rains will come, by which there will be production of the grains, not only for human beings. When there is rain, there are green grasses for the herbivorous animals, and there is sufficient amount of herbivorous animals for the carnivorous animals. Everyone is sustained on the earth by the performance of Yajna. So like that. So this is the difference between Karma Bhumi and Bhauma Swarga. So then what are the facilities they have? They live in beautifully decorated hermitages. Their hermitages are surrounded by gardens filled with seasonal flowers and fruits. And these gardens are surrounded by enormous lakes filled with flower bearing trees and chirping or sweet singing birds. So basically, they have beautiful hermitages on the banks of the lakes and gardens. And the lakes and gardens are filled with lot of flower trees and fruit trees, and which are filled with honeybees and flower fruit birds, which are constantly making wonderful noises. The entire area is greenery, and they have nice atmosphere to enjoy nicely. The Devata leaders, along with their wives, they come to these gardens and the lakes to sport and enjoy, etc. So in this purport, Prabhupada writes, the heavenly residents enjoy superior happiness, but never forget their positions as the eternal servants of the Supreme Lord. But humans forget. In spite of having all these wonderful facilities, they always remember that they are servants of the Supreme Lord. But in Bharata Varsha, if we human beings are given such kind of facilities, we immediately forget the Lord. So that kind of unfortunate situation we are in. So like that, Srila Prabhupada writes. So then, after that verse, after the verse number 15, starting from 16 onwards, till the middle of chapter 19, text number 16 or 15 of chapter 19, there Sukadeva Goswami talks about the prayers offered by all the residents of Jambhudvipa. In the 9 Varshas of Jambhudvipa, a different category of people are residing, and they have their leader, and that leader is offering wonderful prayers unto the worshipable deity. So here we see the 9 Varshas and the 9 mountains which are dividing them, and the 9 leaders of those, the leaders of the people who are living in these 9 Varshas, and they are worshipping the respectable worshipable deity. In Ilavrata Varsha, there is Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva worships Lord Sankarshana. In Bhadrashva Varsha, there is Bhadrashrava, son of Dharmaraj. He worships Lord Haigriva. In Hari Varsha, Prahlad Maharaj is still residing there. Prahlad Maharaj, when Lord Narsingadev said, please come to Vaikuntha, he said, no, how can I come without delivering all these people? For all of our deliverance, Prahlad Maharaj is still there around us. So he is currently staying in Ilavrata Varsha, Hari Varsha, worshipping Lord Narsingadev. In Ketumala Varsha, Mother Lakshmi, assisted by 360 sons and 360 daughters of Prajapati Samvatsara, and always engaged in service of Lord Pradyumna, Lord Rishikesha, etc. And in Ramyaka Varsha, the current Manu, the Vaivashvata Manu, the 7th Manu, his name is Shraddha Deva, he is the son of Sun God. He is currently residing there. In his previous life, during Chakshusha Manvantara, he was King Satyavrata. That time he was saved by Lord Matsya. Since then, he became ardent follower of Lord Matsya. So he living in Ramyaka Varsha, He is worshipping Lord Matsya. And in Hiranmaya Varsha, Aryama, so one of the 12 Adityas, when Yamaraj, by the curse of Mandava Rishi, became Vidura, it was Aryama who looked after the activities of Yamaloka. So punishing the sinful people and other things, it was Aryama only took care of them. And this Aryama is one of the 12 Adityas. He is the son of Aditi and Kashyapa. He is currently staying in Hiranmaya Varsha, worshipping Lord Kurma. In Kuru Varsha, Uttara Kuru Varsha, Bhudevi, the Bhudevi personified, whom Lord Varaha lifted from Garbhodaka ocean 2 times. She is personally staying in Uttara Kuru Varsha and continuously worshipping Lord Varaha, who was her husband. And then in Kimpurusha Varsha, Hanumanji, Arishtasena, Sugriva, and all the other Vanaras who assisted Lord Rama during Ramayana last time, they are all currently staying in Kimpurusha Varsha. When Lord Rama was going back, he asked Hanumanji, coming or not? Hanumanji said, no, no, my dear Lord, you have embraced me. You embraced this body. As long as, he says 2 things. As long as this body can live, I will live here. And uh, I want to hear your pastimes. As long as your pastimes are sung around in the midst of devotee assemblies, I want to stay here only. Lord Rama told, my glories will be sung till the end of the day of Brahma. Hanumanji said, I'll stay here till the end of the day of Brahma. Since Hanumanji is staying, all his friends and followers, friends such as Arishtasena, Sugriva, and all other Vanaras, they are all currently staying in Kimpurusha Varsha, worshipping Lord Ram. And for Bharata Varsha, the leader is Narada Muni. Narada Muni, while instructing some Savarani Manu will be the 8th Manu, the future Manu. He is already born. So Narada Muni giving him spiritual instructions and worshipping his worshipable deity, Naranarayana Rishi. So like that. So these are the different personalities. They are living in these respective Varshas and they are worshipping the Lord, their Ishtadev, in different forms. So all these prayers we will discuss in one of the future classes. But today we will continue on. We will not discuss the prayers, but we will discuss in a couple of the class. We'll discuss this cosmology section, which is quite technical. Then we will discuss the prayers afterwards. Maybe after 1 or 2 classes before the completion of 20th chapter. Before that we need to discuss the prayers so that they will be there in the exam. So in that way. So this is a brief summary of all these people. Here you see. So here Lord Shiva worshipping Lord Sankarsana, Bhadrashva worshipping Lord Haigriva, Prahlada worshipping Lord Narsingha, Mother Lakshmi worshipping Lord Rishikesha, Vaibhav Manu worshipping Lord Matsya, Aryama worshipping Lord Kurmya, Bhudevi worshipping Lord Varaha, and Lord Hanumanji and other Vanaras worshipping Lord Rama, Narada Muni worshipping Naranarayana Rishis. So like that, all these are being worshipped. So then, while talking about Ilavarta Varsha, there is a mention that within Ilavarta Varsha there is only one male. If any male enters into this place, they immediately become female. And they also, Sukadeva Goswami gives an example that Sudyumna unknowingly came to this Ilavarta Varsha and became female. That story comes in the first chapter of the 9th canto. Sudyumna was the son of whose son? Sudyumna was the son of Shraddha Deva. He is the son of Vaibhav Manu. So Vaibhav Manu currently staying here, na? So his son is Sudyumna. So he became female and her name was Ila. She eventually married Buddha, the son of moon god, and they gave birth to Pururava. And from Pururava, the entire Chandravamsha began in Bharatavarsha. So like that. So, but though it is said Bhagavatam in that particular case that because Lord Shiva residing there and there is no other female, if they enters there, they'll become female. But actually, that condition does not hold good for the entire Ilavarta Varsha. It only holds good for these two mountain ranges. Kailasha, Karavira. In this area only, if somebody comes here, unknowingly they become female. No male person is allowed entry in this mountain area. It is here one of the 11 Rudras, along with Bhavani, they are staying here. And because the reason is, in the 8th canto we studied that here is the Mandara mountain, which was used by the Devatas and Asuras for churning the milk ocean. So Devatas came here, Asuras came here not to take this mountain from here. They were actually taking it because this mountain is made up of gold. The mountain fell upon them. They could not carry it. Then Lord Vishnu himself came and put that mountain on top of the Jatayu, not Jatayu, on top of Garuda. And I eventually put all the Devatas and Asuras on top of Garuda and took all of them to the Milk Ocean, the 5th ocean of the Bhumandala. That is where they performed journey to the Milk Ocean. So something like that. So if the Devatas and Asuras came here and they did not become female, matlab, the condition put by Lord Shiva does not applicable to whole Iravatta Varsha. It is only applicable to this mountain range. And also it is said that all these gardens and lakes are inhabited by the Devatas. They come here for sporting along with their concerts, etc. etc. So then, so in that way, it indicates that the condition only applicable to this mountain range, not everywhere. So like that. So
Hare
here we
Krishna.
have 1 second, just 2 minutes. We will take the questions afterwards. So here we have the Mandara mountain, which was brought by the Devatas and Asuras to churn the milk ocean. Lord Kurma assisting them. So here is Lord Shiva worshipping Lord Sankarsana. Here are all the monkeys who constructed the bridge from Rameshwaram to Lanka. Here is King Satyavrata. In the previous life, he was saved by Matsya. And that person became Vaivashvata Manu, current Manu. So, and he is there in Hiranyavarsha, Varsha. So, like that. So, all these prayers have been briefly summarized here. We did not discuss the prayers, we will discuss later on. Yeah, yes, Madhaj.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, there is any condition or any specific thing because of which it is termed that only that portion of the mountain range, only females are allowed and no male is allowed, like that? Any reason for that?
No, the details and all you can get it from 9th canto 1st chapter. They are all there. Because once Parvati and Shiva were in the inner chambers, some great sages, with the intention to have darshan of Lord Shiva, they entered into inner chambers without asking anybody's permission. So Parvati was feeling she was not properly dressed. She was feeling ashamed. So not to allow that kind of condition, because previously when Parvati kept Ganeshji at the Dwarpal, Lord Shiva cut off his head. So many things happened. So it seems that there was no Dwarpal, or if in Dwarpal was there, they did not stop the Brahmanas. Because at one point of time, Jaya Vijaya stopped 4 Kumaras, they were cast. So all these pastimes are there. So they directly entered into the chambers. So Parvati was feeling, not Parvati, Bhavani was feeling uncomfortable. So for to please her, Lord Shiva put a condition that in future, whoever male enters, and whoever enters with permission or without permission, they will become female. So like that. This pastime is mentioned in that particular chapter.
Okay. So only male, one male you said, that is Lord Shiva.
There is only one male. That is, matlab, though the Bhagavatam sloka says that there is only one male in Iravatta Varsha, but not like that. That condition only in this area. Only in this Kailash Karavira mountain range only, Lord Shiva and all the ladies are there, extra ladies are there. Remaining all area, both male and female are there.
Okay. That means, Prabhuji, if anyone wants to take darshan of Lord Shiva or meet Lord Shiva, means those, of course, heavenly demigods or somebody, they also cannot come into this area.
No. They can stay at the border and then they can inform Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Instead of unnecessarily barging in, stay at the main entrance and send the message.
Okay. And Prabhuji, like whether the people from one Varsha, they can go to other Varsha or they just remain always in that same Varsha, like
Yeah, if they
Arivarsha.
want, they can go, but they don't go. If they want, they can go. There was no need. They are comfortable to whatever place they are. Why would somebody will go from one place to other place? Only for two reasons. Either to do some business or to rule over, to encroach their property. But here people are self-satisfied. They have everything, whatever they want at their own place. Why would they go to other places?
Okay. Yeah, and the mountain range is also too high, like
No, even
2000.
they are like devatas. They have mystic powers. Also, they can jump across the mountain. Also, they can go. They can climb or fly also. But still, they don't go because they are happy wherever they are.
Okay. Yeah, and there are 2, 3 questions more what previously we discussed. So, like all swargas you mentioned, so the difference between all the divya swargas and villa swarga and the middle one, like loka, the swargas which we discussed. So, in that the difference is only in the mode provision, like the opulence will be same at every place, but the
See,
mode
you can't put condition opulence same and all. It could be little more, little less also.
no,
Basically,
no,
all
means
these three
similar.
places
I'm
are
not
full of
saying, yeah,
opulences. There is
yeah.
opulences are there. Within the opulences, there may be some gradation and all. But the important thing is that what is the prevalent mode and what is the nature of the people living there. That is the important thing.
Okay, so the prevalent mode majorly differs there. And
Uh,
whenever we say somebody went to Swarga due to the performing pious activities or something, that is a Divya Swarga, what we say.
yeah, that is Divya either in Bhur Loka or in Swarga Loka.
Okay. And Prabhuji, like here in Bharatvarsha, we say that in different Chaturyugas, the lifespan of the people will be different. Like we say that Satyuga, it was 1 lakh
Yeah,
years,
that
and
we
then
will
in
discuss. That Bharata Varshandal we will discuss. That is
yeah,
the
no, no.
topic
So
now.
what I'm saying is whether that difference of age in each Chaturyuga, it is only for the Bharatvarsha or in other
That and
Varshas
all we
also.
will discuss, Mataji. That and all we will discuss about Bharata
Okay.
Varsha. It will come.
Okay. Prabhuji. Yeah. And then so
Hare
much opulence is there every place, so nobody means will have that intense desire, na Prabhuji, to go back to spiritual world, because even in material world they are in so much opulence.
Yeah, that is also that point is also coming now because there is a lot of facilities for enjoyment. Yeah, they'll say Aram say why so much urgency. Let us go Aram say something like that. Yes, that is there.
So the meaning of karma bhumi is basically where you will not be having the facilities why what you karmas you do and what piety you achieve, on that your destination will be dependent. That is
Yes,
the
yes.
meaning of karma.
Urdhvam gachanti satvastha, madhya tishtanti rajasa, jaganna gunurtisya adho gachanti tamasa. Based on our karma in which mode, accordingly we'll get the destiny.
Okay, so other places, all other places, Prabhuji, what we are saying, there is no karma, means whatever the
It is
activities they
not
perform.
exactly no karma. There is karma there also, but it is not as stringent as in Bharata Varsha. Since Bharata Varsha is a karma bhumi, it is very stringent here. Other place also karma is there, but it is see here we need to do all the see. That's why one example we are given na the child birth. If you take the for that matter, there is 9 months pregnancy period, and then the child taking care of the child because it is a huge responsibility here. But in the heaven, what's happening in 2 muhurtas time, everything is done. They don't have any responsibility. But still, there is small time. Only 2 muhurtas time they go through all the entire period. So it is like that.
Okay. Rudimentary, yeah, that's what I was feeling actually, Prabhuji. Like in one Murta time, the child is born, and that too in the last year, like 10,000 year, na you said. So
Yes, yes.
there is no parent-child bond or something, no, because hardly the parent and child get any time with each other, because
Yeah, as soon
that
as they are born, they become 16 years old and they are on their own way. That's all.
yeah, and that is their last year of their parents. So anyway, that year will be large, of course, because that is it will be in the Swarga accounting, na, in that year also.
Yes,
That's
yes.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Ah, yes,
Krishna
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, once little clarification. You mentioned Lord Shiva resides with Bhavani. So is this Lord Sadashiv or Rudra or what is
No, no. Sadashiva
other?
resides outside the universe only. This is one of the 11
Outside.
Rudras. We have in
Okay.
total 11
Lord Shiva.
Rudras are there, na? After the 11
Yes.
Rudras, in the previously also I mentioned when Ganga pastime is mentioned. So just like
Yes.
here we have Kailash mountain, in the greater Himalayas also one Kailash mountain is there. So one of the 11 Rudras
Hmm.
is residing here, and one of the 11 Rudras is residing here. The one who is residing here in the Himalayas is known as Shankar. So it is he about whom we generally hear. He is the husband of
Hmm.
Mother Parvati. He is the father of Ganesh ji and Kartikeya. But this Rudra is not the husband of Mother Parvati. He is the husband of Bhavani. So she
Okay.
is different.
All right.
He is
Yes.
a different Rudra. He is a different Rudra. Both of them are different. So in that way.
All right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Any other devotees have any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that means all the 11 Rudras will have different wives, means that they are not expansions of Parvati as such.
Ah, no, no. They are all different wives. Yes.
Okay. So all the 11 Rudras are different personalities. They are not the expansions of Lord Shiva Prabhuji.
No, no. All the 11 Rudras are expansions of Sadashiva. See,
Okay.
it's just like, you see, there is again Achintya Veda principle. See, it is Mahanarayana only expands into Narsimha, Kurma, Varaha. And every Lord has Lakshmi Devi as his wife. So are all the Vishnu forms are same or different? Are all the Lakshmis are same or different?
Yeah, the same also and different also.
Ah, same thing here. The 11 Rudras are same also and they are different also.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, and that means one of the Rudras who held Ganga on his head, that is Shankar, na, who is
Ah,
staying
that is
in.
Shankar Bhagwan who is staying here in the Himalayas.
Okay.
So these
Thank
11
you.
names of the 11 Rudras and the 11 wives, we have already seen, I think, in the third canto, 12th chapter.
Yeah.
From when Kumaras were born, Brahma tells them to get married. They said no. Brahma becomes angry. From the Brukti, there appears the 11 Rudras. So Lord Shiva gave them the 11 names and 11 places to stay and all other things, 11 wives. So they are the 11 Rudras.
So when we always say, Prabhuji, that Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, so Shambhu is also one of the Rudras or it is a Sadashiva.
So see, again same Achintya Veda principle. Shambhu is actually the one who is outside the universe, Sadashiva. Shambhu means Sadashiva. But since the same
Okay.
person is coming into the universe in the form of 11 Rudras, he is same. Since we cannot access the one who is outside the universe, whatever pastimes we hear about the person who is inside the universe, this Shiva. So he is as good as Shambhu only. So that's why Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu.
Yeah. And this Himalaya, which is near Bharatvarsha, that is only Himalaya, no? Or there is some one more Himalaya I had heard, like that is the actual Himalaya.
Wait. Let us discuss now. We will discussing about Bharata Varsha. In that you will get the information about that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Other devotees, do they have any questions? Able to follow all others?
Yes,
Pradeep Nair
Prabhuji.
Prabhu and Rajradhika Machaji, Durgadas
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes, Prabhuji.
You are following, na?
Yes, yes.
Fine. So we'll move on. So we are skipping the prayers for now. We will discuss the prayers in one of the future classes, 1 or 2 classes it will take because there are a lot of prayers are there. So now, having discussed about the 8 heavenly Varshas, the Bhaumas Vargas in the Jambhudvipa, the remaining 9th Varsha, that is Bharata Varsha. So what is this? What is the specialty of this place? That has been presented in the 19th chapter, starting from text number 16 to 28. And today we'll be discussing about all these things in detail about Bharata Varsha so that we understand where are we staying, etc. So in between I'll stop, but don't ask me questions in between here and there. I'll stop at after completing one theme, then we'll take questions. So Sukadeva Goswami says, Just like in Jambhudvipa, the Ganga is going in all different places in different streams and all. And we also saw that all of the other Varshas have a lot of water streams, lot of streams with all the natural resources, everything is there. Similarly, in Bharata Varsha also there are many mountains and rivers. And one shloka talks about the mountains. These are all different mountains. Malaya, Mangalaprastha, Mainaka, Trikuta, Rushabha, Kutaka, Kollaka, etc. So of the so many mountains, I put some of them in different color, so which we hear about their names. We sometimes go on pilgrimage also. Sayadri Mountains, Devagiri Mountains, Srishela Mountains, Venkatachala Mountains, Mahendragiri Mountain, Chitrakuta Mountain, Govardhana Mountain. Some of them are there, and some of them we might have heard the names, some of them we may not have heard. But these are all there in the Bharata Varsha. Besides these, there are many other hills with many large and small rivers flowing from their slopes. It is not that only these mountains are there in Bharata Varsha. Some of the mountain names are mentioned because they are important, but there are many more. So, and from all these mountains, there are different rivers are coming down. The inhabitants of Bharata Varsha contact these pure rivers by their minds, body, and utterance of their names, by which they get purified. So, of many rivers, some of the prominent rivers are there. These are all the rivers in Bharata Varsha, section number 17 and 19. But some of them I put in different color, which we hear about and come across. Brahmaputra, Tamraparni, Kritamala, Tungabhadra, Kaveri, Krishnaveni, Godavari. Tungabhadra we see in Hampi. Kritamala is there in South India. Tamraparni is there in Tirunelveli, Navatirupati, etc. etc. Krishnaveni in Mumbai, not Mumbai, in Maharashtra. Godavari also Maharashtra is there. Narmada, Madhya Pradesh, etc. Mahanadi, Saraswati, of course, Narmada, Mahanadi, these are all in the central India, North India, Brahmaputra, they are all above. Yamuna, Saraswati, Gomati, Sarayu, Ayodhya. Gomati is in Naimisharanya, etc. etc. Like that, some of the rivers we come across, they are all there. And then in the 19th Varsha, as our 19th shloka, it talks about the activities the people in Bharata Varsha they perform. What kind of activity they perform, what kind of destination they get. That's what we are seeing in Karma Bhumi. So the karma is given more importance in this place. So it is said here. In Bharata Varsha, many destinations such as heavenly, human, and hellish are prescribed for all people because people take birth according to the actions in Satvaguna, Rajoguna, and Tamaguna. Urdhvam gachanti satvastha, madhye tishtanti rajasa, jaganna gurunavattissa, adho gachanti tamasa. Tamaguna activities takes one to hell. Rajoguna activities gives one birth among the human beings only. Satvaguna activities sends one to heavenly abodes, Bhauma Swarga, not Bhauma Swarga. Of course, Divya Swarga as well as Bhauma Swarga, all the above places, so etc. All these destinations are prescribed for the self according to the quality of their actions, as indicated in the Vedas. So everything is mentioned in the Vedas. By doing what one will get. So Vedas have all the information. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about this thing in at the end of the 16th chapter, I suppose. What was that? 16th chapter, the last two verses. After describing Daivasura Sampatti Vibhaga Yoga, at the end, Lord Krishna says that. Um, Anyone remembers the verses? So in one verse, I think Lord Krishna says that Yes Shastra Vidhi Musturja Vartate Kama Karata Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti Na Sukam Na Param Gatim. So there are two category of people. Some of them are called Deva, some of them are called Asura. Deva people follow Shastra, Asura people don't follow Shastra. As a result of that, people who want to follow like Asuras, Shastra Vidhi Mustruja, Vartate Kama Karata. They perform activities only as per their kama, their material desire. As a result of that, Nasa Siddhim, na Sukam, na Paramgatim. They neither get Siddhi, nor Sukha, nor enter into spiritual world. Then finally, Lord Krishna says, Tasma Shastra Pramanamte, Karya Karya Vyavastito. Therefore, accept Shastra at the Pramana because the Shastra has the information about Karya and Akarya, what to do, what not to do, what should be done, what should not be done. Jnatva Shastra Vidanoktam Karma Kartum Iha Arahasi. For those people who are living in Bharata Varsha, they should understand from these Vedic literatures about what to do, what not to do, and then perform activities accordingly. So, like that. So, that is important for Bharata Varsha, all the Vedic literatures. And this Bharata Varsha has a special USP, that is, liberation is then achieved. A person from Bharata Varsha can attain liberation easily in comparison to all other places all over the Bhumandala, all over the universe actually. So it is like that. So this is what is mentioned in the 19th verse of this chapter about the activities that people perform in Bharata Varsha. So Prabhupada talks about Varnashrama duties, etc., etc. in the purport. But Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur, quoting from Vishnu Purana and Vayu Purana and other Puranas, talks about Bharata Varsha. What is this Bharata Varsha is all about? Wherein he says that in Bharata Varsha there are 9 islands. Even Bharata Varsha is further divided into 9 islands because the divisions are because of the ocean and hence they are called islands. And their names are mentioned in the Vishnu Purana. Indradvipa, Kaseru, Tamravarna, Bhavastiman, Saumya, Nagadvipa, Gandharva, and Varuna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of the 9 Dvipas, the 8 Dvipas names are mentioned. And the 9th one, bordering the ocean, which is 1000 yojanas from north to south, known as Bharata or Bharata Khanda. Of the 9 divisions, the 9th division is actually called as Bharata and it is known as Bharata Khanda. As a result of that, the whole tract of land became known as Bharata Varsha. Not only because Bharata Maharaj ruled over this, because there is a 9th tract of land which is also called as Bharata, the entire area is also called as Bharata Varsha. So within Bharata Varsha, there are 9 divisions. The 9th division is Bharata Khanda. Its width is 1000 yojanas as we measure from north to south. So it is like that. The 9th island bordering the ocean 1000 yojanas from north to south. It is known as Bharata Khanda or Navadvipa or Sudarshana Dvipa. A person whoever born in one of these 9 dvipas is limited to that dvipa only for one's lifetime. So since the Bhagavatam that we are reciting, that we are studying is written by Vyasadeva at the beginning of the current Kali Yuga, which is actually meant for the Bharata Varsha people, especially for the current Kali Yuga people. So whatever we read in the Vedic literatures currently, they are keeping in the mind about the Kali Yuga people. So in the previous yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara yugas, the people might have gone through other places. They have gone to other dvipas of the Bharata Varsha and other Varshas of the Jambhudvipa also. As Mataji was asking whether they could go to other places. Yes, in the previous yuga, they could go to all other places. But in the Kali Yuga, even within Bharata Varsha, one cannot go from one Khanda to other Khanda. If somebody is born in Babastiman, they should be in the Babastiman only for the entire life. They cannot go to Saumya. This is for Kali Yuga. There may be some exceptions. There could be some special people they can go. But in general, the majority of the population cannot go to other divisions of the land. So it is like that. So the 9th one is called Sagar Samruta. It is located at the edge of the ocean. So, of course, Vishnu Purana very clearly talks about the 9 divisions within Bharata Varsha. Fine. Does Bhagavatam talk about 9 divisions in Bharata Varsha? Not directly. Indirectly, it talks about in the 11th canto, not in the 5th canto. So, 5th canto, we see that Priyavrat Maharaj had divided the Bhumandala into 7 divisions known as 7 Dvipas, and they were given to 7 of his sons. The eldest among all the seven is Agnidra. He was given Jambhudvipa. He married Purvachiti and they gave birth to 9 sons. And Agnidra gave the 9 divisions of Jambhudvipa to 9 sons, and the 9 divisions became known with the names of the 9 sons. So Nabi, Kimpurusha, Hari, Ilavrta, Ramyaka, Hiranmaya, etc. etc. So that tract of land given to them became known as that particular land. So like that tract of land which was given to Nabi, it was known as Nabi Varsha. Later on, Nabi married Meru Devi, the daughter of Meru, and they gave birth to the Supreme Lord Rishabdev. And Rishabdev married Jayanti. We already discussed this past time, long back in the 5th chapter or so. And he ruled over this tract of land. When Nabi was ruling over, it became known as Nabi. When Lord Rishabdev was ruling over, it was known as Ajunaba Varsha. Aja means the unborn Supreme Lord appeared the son of Nabi. As a result of that, he became known as Ajunaba. Just like Pandu, the Pandavas. The sons of Pandu were Pandavas. So like that, the son of Nabi is Naba, Ajunaba. So like that. So Rishabdeva had 100 sons, of which 81 became Brahmanas, 9 became Navayogendras, Paramahamsa sannyasis, and 10 became Kshatriyas. Half the 10, the eldest one is Bharata Maharaj. Since Bharata Maharaj is so glorious, we also discussed about Bharata Maharaj, his glorious qualities and all. And since Bharata Maharaj is so glorious, when he was ruling over this tract of land, it became known as Bharata Varsha. And he had 9 younger brothers: Kushavarta, Ailavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasena, Andrisu, Vidarbha, and Kigada. And these 9 younger brothers, requested by Bharata Maharaj, they began to rule over the 9 islands within Bharata Varsha. So Bharata Maharaj is the monarch of the entire Bharata Varsha, and his 9 younger brothers are individually ruling over the 9 dvipas within Bharata Varsha. And this is mentioned in the 11th canto, 2nd chapter, text number 19. Tesham Navadvipa Patayo. The remaining 9 brothers of Bharat Maharaj, they became Navadvipa Patayo, the kings of Navadvipas, 9 dvipas within Bharata Varsha. Asya Samantata. So it is like that. This is how it is indicated in the Bhagavatam. Otherwise, other Puranas directly talk about the number of divisions and their names and all. Bhagavatam does not talk about the divisions and names, but indirectly it is indicating here. So like that. So referring to these sections of Bhagavatam, he is Orane Dhanavri Goswami Maharaj while making that video Vedic Cosmos in the last decade. So he made these 9 divisions like this. So this is the Greater Himalaya. These are the 9 divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, but this is not appropriate. There is some correction required in this. These are the 9 divisions. The correction is, this is our Jambhudvipa. These are all the 9 Varsha. This is our Bharata Varsha. From here to here, Bharata Varsha's width is 9,000 yojanas. And this side is called south. This side is called north of Mount Meru. So as you measure from south to north, the total width of Bharata Varsha is 9,000. And it is mentioned that the ninth bordering the ocean, which is 1,000 yojanas from north to south, known as Bharata Khanda. So the divisions are not from here to here. Instead, the divisions are from here to here. Because Bharata Varsha is 9,000 yojanas from north to south. And there are 9 divisions, and each division is 1,000 yojanas. The divisions will be like this. The same saltwater ocean entered into Bharata Varsha, dividing them into 9 divisions. So this is the 9th division, this is the 8th division, 7th division, 6th division, 5th division, 4th division, 3rd division, 2nd division. This is the 9th division. And this 9th division is Bharata Khanda, about which the Vishnu Purana was mentioning, etc. Because this 9th division is called Bharata Khanda, the entire region is also called as Bharata Varsha. So like that. So these are the divisions. They are supposed to be like this instead of like this. This is the Himalaya mountain. These are the 9 divisions, but they are not supposed to be like this. They are supposed to be like this. The 9th division further described in Vishnu Purana. So now we are specifically talking about this 9th division. In the previous verse, the Vishnu Purana talks about the entire Bharata Varsha. The current verse will talk about this particular ninth division only. Within the ninth division, in the eastern side, there are Kiratas are residing. In the western side, there are Yavanas are residing. In the eastern side, there are kingdoms such as Kamarupa, Varissa, Kalinga, and Magadha. In the southern side, there are kingdoms such as Maruka and Malava. Then, the important thing. Now, the next verse talks about Bharata Varsha. Chatvari Bharate Varsha Yuganyatra Mahamuni. Kritam Treta Dwaparam cha Kalischa Anyatra na Kvachit. So basically, in Bharata Varsha, Chatvari Bharate Varsha, there are 4 yugas. Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. And then Anyatra na Kvachit, which do not exist elsewhere. These 4 yugas does not exist in the rest of the Jambhudvipa or rest of the Bhumandala. Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali division is only within Bharata Varsha, which does not exist in other places. Within Bharata Varsha only, we experience the change in time. Satya Yuga, where people live for 1 lakh years. Treta Yuga, where people live for 10,000 years. Dwapara Yuga, where people live for 1,000 years. Kali Yuga, where people live for 100 years at the beginning. And eventually, by the end of Kali Yuga, people lifespan will become 10. Because at the beginning of Satya Yuga, they were living up to 1 lakh years. By the end of Satya Yuga, their lifespan became 10,000 years. Then Treta Yuga started. And then their lifespan became 1,000. Dwapara Yuga started. Their lifespan became reduced to 100 years. Kali Yuga started. Their lifespan further reduced to 10 years by the end of the Kali Yuga. So like that, 110 reduction. So previously it was mentioned that while describing the 8 Varshas which are known as Bhaumasvarga, whoever is born, they are born with 10,000 years lifespan fixed, and they experience the happiness of Treta Yuga. So in these places, there is no change in yugas. They always have Treta Yuga only. But in Bharata Varsha, we have Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. Because here karma is important. In Satya Yuga, mode of goodness is prominent. In Treta Yuga, mode of goodness and mode of passion were prominent. In Dwapara Yuga, mode of passion and mode of ignorance are prominent. In Kali Yuga, mode of ignorance is prominent. So like that, our activities, the modes and everything will change in Bharata Varsha. So it is like that. So this is about Bharata Varsha. Then Vaipurana says, the 9 divisions of Bharata are individually separated by the ocean and one cannot go from one place to other, at least in the current Kali Yuga. 2. Agamya Parasparam. In the current Kali Yuga, we cannot go from one place to other place. Though it is existing, we can't see, we can't go. That's all. For other yugas, during other yugas, they might go. And then, Srila Prabhupada quotes Siddhanta Shiromani, which says, within Bharata Varsha, there are 9 Khandas. They are known as Aindra, Kaseru, Tamraparna, Gabasiman, Kumaraka, Naga, Soumya, Varuna, and Gandharva. These 8 names are same as Vishnu Purana and Vayu Purana and all. Only the 9th name there it is called as Bharata Khanda. Here it is called as Kumarika Dvipa. And these 9 divisions are Iti Bharata Varsha Madhya, within the Bharata Varsha. So we are just referring to different Shastras, whether they are consistent or not. Yes, Vishnu Purana, Vayu Purana, and even Siddhanta Shiromani, they are all consistent with the same names. Markandeya Purana says, karma is not enjoined anywhere else. The 9th island is surrounded by water. It measures 1000 yojanas from south to north. In this 9th division, especially, there are people mixture of both Mlechas and Aryans, but they predominate in certain areas. In certain parts, the Mlechas are prominent, in certain parts, Aryans are prominent, like that. This place is called as Karma Bhumi. And this Karma Bhumi bestows everything according to one's Papa and Punya. Whatever activity that we perform, accordingly, we are bestowed with the results. So, like that. So, these are all Vishnu Shakti quoting from different Puranas, and they are all mentioned. And then, Srila Vishnu Thakur himself giving some commentary in this particular verse. He says, whatever has been mentioned in the shloka, that takes place only in Bharata Varsha and specifically in an area whose dimension is 1000 yojanas. So whatever that has been mentioned in the shloka happens in the Bharata Varsha, but specifically in the Bharata Khanda. The goals manifest according to the qualities of actions caused by dharma and adharma. If you perform activities in the mode of goodness, they are called dharmic activities. If you perform activities in the mode of ignorance, they are called adharmic activities. If the activities in the mode of passion, they are a mixture of both dharmic and adharmic activities. And this takes place unavoidably as it is indicated in the Vedas. Because everything is told in the Vedas and everything happens by default. And even if one does not endeavor for liberation within Bharata Varsha and especially in Bharata Khanda, the liberation appears on its own. That means the means to attain liberation will come to us even though we don't want it. This is the USP of Bharata Varsha. The example is, who among us was searching after for Bhakti and came to ISKCON temple and became devotees? Most of us, majority of us, there could be someone, but majority of us, the devotee on his own came to us and invited us for a satsang program or to the temple. That means the liberation or bhakti came on its own to us. This facility is there in Bharata Khanda in specific, Bharata Varsha in general. So like that. So the 5 kinds of liberation, 4 kinds of liberation taking one to Vaikunta, and the 5th kind of liberation taking one to Sahaja. All those things are possible and quickly available for the people of Bharata Varsha. So this is the specialty of Bharata Varsha. So like that, the Bharata Varsha has been indicated in these verses. So now, by performing pious activities in Bharata Varsha, the human beings have gone to Divya Swarga. They have spent their 90% of piety there. Then they came down to Bhauma Swarga. There they are spending the 9%, 9 out of the remaining 10% of their piety. So these people who have ascended to Divya Swarga or Bhauma Swarga are offering these prayers. There are some people who are originally the residents of Divya Swarga and Bhauma Swarga. Their lifespan is as long as, especially in Divya Swarga, their lifespan is for 1 Manvantara time period. In Bhauma Swarga also, their lifespan could be like 1 Manvantara period, the original people. But from Bharata Varsha, those people who by performing piety who goes to Divya Swarga or Bhauma Swarga, their lifespan may be limited according to their piety. For example, in Bhauma Swarga, their lifespan is only 10,000 years according to one's piety. In the upper planetary systems, and in the Bhauma Swarga and the heavenly heaven and Bhur Loka, their lifespan could be much longer. And they are praying. The original people are always engaged in service of Supreme Lord. The main devatas such as Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, etc. After the end of this Manvantara period, they will all go back to Godhead. But the people who, by performing piety from Bharata Varsha, who went to Swargaloka, they don't go to spiritual world. Instead, they'll come down. Tetam Bhuktva Sargalokam Vishalam Shine Punya Martilokam Vishanti. After exhausting their piety, they'll come down. First to Bhauma Swarga, then they come down to Bharata Varsha. And these people who are there, they are offering these prayers. And they say that whether they are in the Bhauma Swarga or in the Divya Swarga, they are saying that this place is not suitable for service to Mukunda. And they are telling that what pious activities, sorry, they say that the Bharata Varsha is most suitable for service to Mukunda. And they are telling that what kind of pious activity the residents of Bharata Varsha performed. As a result of that, they have got birth in Bharata Varsha and able to serve the Lord, able to worship the Lord Mukunda and can go back to God easily. But on the other hand, by performing various pious activities, we have come to Bhauma Swarga or Bhauma Swarga or Divya Swarga. Then they are saying that what is the use of our performing difficult sacrifices, the difficult vows, difficult austerities and difficult charities on the Bharata Varsha, and have come to Divya Swarga or Bhauma Swarga. Thus we have attained a transient residence in heaven, where there is no remembrance of the Lord because of the excessive enjoyment of the senses. Naitra Narayana Pada Pankaja Smruti Pramushtat Shendriyostavat. Even though they can remember Lord Narayana, but that remembrance is carried away by the unlimited opportunities for sense gratification. Pramushta Atishaya Indriya Ustava. Because of the excessive enjoyment of the senses, their remembrance of the Lord will be carried away by that enjoyment mentality. So they say that what is the use of coming to this transient residence in Bhaumasvarga and Divyasvarga? On the other hand, we don't know what kind of pious activities the people of Bharatavarsha performed. As a result of that, they got birth in Bharatavarsha and where they could serve Lord Mukunda without being disturbed by the excessive sense gratification. Then they further say that even if we have given an opportunity to take birth in Brahmaloka with a duration as long as that of Brahmaloka, should not be accepted, because people of Bharatavarsha attain Vaikuntha very easily by the practice of bhakti. Kalpayusham sthana jayat punar bhavet kshanayusham Bharata bhujayo varam. Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Even though a person might go all the way up to Brahma Loka, but after one's piety is over, one has to come back to Bharatavarsha. But from Bharatavarsha, by practicing bhakti, one can go back to Godhead easily, quickly. So it is like that. Even Brahmaloka should not be accepted if there are no rivers of sweet topics about the Lord, no devotees who take shelter of those topics, and no great festivals of sacrifice of chanting of His holy names are continuously taking place. Even if as a result of our piety, pious activities, we are promoted to Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, etc., we should not accept them. If there are no Krishna Katha, if there are no Nam Japa, Kirtan, Nam Sankirtan, or other festivals are continuously happening. Naitra Vaikunta Katha Sudhapaga Nasadavo Bhagavata Stadashraya. Naitra Yagnesha Maka Mahostava Suresha Lokopi Navai Sasevetam. Suresha Loko Api, even Brahma's Loka also we should not accept if there is no bhakti activities constantly going on. They have come to this point, they are saying that because those people who attain this Bharata Varsha and do not utilize it properly are most lamentable. Because Bharata Varsha is a special prerequisite that one can practice bhakti and attain spiritual world easily. But on the other hand, in spite of attaining Bharata Varsha, if they don't practice bhakti, they are the most lamentable people, because they are again bound up like birds trapped by a hunter. But even with some desire also, Artho Jignashu Artharthi Jnanishu Bharatarshava Chaturvida Bhajanti Mam Jana Sukritino Arjuna. Udara Sarava Evaite, Lord says that even with a desire, if they come to me, they are all Udara, they are magnanimous. That's what they are saying now. The Lord certainly awards the desired objects. Even the person comes with Artha, Jignashu, Artharthi also, when they come to Supreme Lord, Lord fulfills their desires, but not in a way that they will ask those material desires again after enjoying. Instead, the Lord gives His own lotus feet, though they do not even desire them. The devotee, the so-called devotees, Artho, Jignashu, Artharthi, came to Lord Vishnu with an intention to fulfill their desires, but they are performing bhakti. Even though they did not ask for Lord's lotus feet, Lord gives His own lotus feet along with the fulfillment of desires. By the way, having tasted the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, they do not ask other material desires. Instead, they'll forget of all they become forgetful of all the material desires. Swatyam dishanti haritam harito nam naivartito yat punarartito yam satyam swayam vidatte bhajatam anichatam ikshapidanam nijapada. But for the fulfillment of their material desires, In addition to fulfilling their material desires, Lord gives their his own lotus feet. In a way, they become attracted to Lord's lotus feet. This is what happens in the Bharata Varsha. That's why the Bharata Varsha is so special. That's why the people by performing piety who went to Bhauma Swarga or the Bhauma Swarga or Divya Swarga, they are praying the good fortune of the residents of Bharata Varsha. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also, there is a verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talking to some of his confidential associates. Mahaprabhu says that, Ama Bhaje Vishamage Ei Bada Murk. See, this person is worshipping me, but asking for Visha. But hey Murka, Ami Vigna, Visha Kevadina. He may be foolish, but I am not foolish. I am knowledgeable. Why should I give Visha? Swa Charanamruta Diya. Swa Charanamruta Diya.
Vishaya Bulai.
Vishay Bulaiba. So he says that I will give my own Charanamruta, drinking which
Vishaya Bulai.
they will forget the Vishaya. Basically, Vishaya. They will forget that Vishaya. In order to get Vishaya, they came to me. While giving that fulfillment of their desires, I will also give my Charanamrut, my lotus feet. Tasting which Vishaya Bulaiba. They will forget the sense gratificated desires. So like that. This is the special USP of Bharata Varsha. So in that way. So finally they say that if we have any pious credits remaining from performing sacrifices, from chanting the Vedas, from performing the charitable activities, may those credits give us birth in Bharata Varsha with the remembrance of Lord. If any remaining quota of our performance of yajna, study of the Vedas, giving charities, etc., remaining, yajna, dana, tapa, etc., let it give us birth in Bharata Varsha with the remembrance of Lord's lotus feet, not without the remembrance of Lord's lotus feet, with bhakti, with some bhakti, where we will have the association of devotees, we will worship the Lord, we will receive the blessings of the Lord. As a result of that, we will go back to Godhead. Tena bhaje smritimat janmanasyad varshe hare riyad bhajatam samtanoti. If you get a birth in Bharata Varsha with the remembrance of Smritimat Hari, the remembrance of Lord's lotus feet, we will actually execute bhakti and then Sham Tanoti will attain his lotus feet in the spiritual world. So these are the prayers offered by the pious living entities who by performing piety have gone to Bhauma Swarga or Divya Swarga. They are praying to take birth in Bharata Varsha, staying in the heavenly abodes. So that is the glories of Bharata Varsha. So that's how Bhagavatam glorifies the wonderful characteristics of Bharata Varsha. So it is like that. Any questions till now?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you.
No, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Madhuri.
Prabhuji, these 9 islands in the Bharat Varsha, which are divided by the straight way like ocean belt, you showed. So they are not coinciding with the current patches of land, which like Asia, Africa, what we see. Those are the divisions of the Bharata Khanda where.
Okay,
where
okay. Hold on this question. Hold on this question. The next section we are going to talk about this. Then you correlate yourself after that topic is discussed.
Okay, and there was one when we were discussing about the rivers, Prabhuji, it was mentioned that if one touches the river by mind, body, or by the name, that will purify the person. So just taking the name of the river also purifies the same way touching the
Yes,
river.
na. In the temple every day there is the Achman water is prepared. Gange che, Yamune che. So that purificatory mantra is there. The water becomes useful for performing Achaman, Argya, Padya, etc.
Okay. Yeah.
So just by chanting mantra, we invoke the auspicious presence of all these wonderful 7 rivers in that water. And that water is used for performing Achaman and all that deity worship activities.
Yeah. Even before bath.
Either you may go to holy place and take bath directly, do Achaman, or at our place only we can chant mantras and the river will come there by the mantra.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hare
So
Krishna,
now,
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in the Bharat Varsha mountains, you had highlighted many of those, some of the mountains. In that, there was one Neela mountain. Is that Neelachal mountain of, or some other mountain? Neela mountain?
that I don't know. See, Bhagavatam says that these are all mountains all over Bharata Varsha. And that Bharata Varsha had 9 divisions. So they could be anywhere in among the 9 divisions.
Okay, not that Neelachal mountain like.
No.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
Not maybe may not be. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have that exact correlation. Some, I mean, as per my little knowledge, which names we hear, I just put them in different color so that we can relate to the mountains around us.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So now let us see the depiction of the Bharata Khanda. So we saw that Bharata Varsha has 9 divisions. The 9th division is Bharata Khanda, whose measurement is 1000 yojanas from north to south. So now we are specifically going to talk about the depiction of the 9th division. So let us come. How does it look like? So the picture of this Bharata Khanda first discovered by Sri Tiruvenkad Ramanujayar, based on the shlokas of Mahabharata from Sri Bhishma Parva, Jambhudvipa Vinire Parva, chapter 5. So there is a Mahabharata, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Pune. They have released a critical edition of Mahabharata. So in the Hindi version of Mahabharata, these shlokas you can find in the 5th chapter. But in the English edition of Mahabharata from Bori, I found these shlokas in the 6th chapter, shloka number 12, 15 and 16. So now we'll be discussing about these 3 shlokas. So taking the information from these 3 shlokas, Sri Tiruvenkad Ramanujayar had drawn the image of the Bharata Khanda. So what is that and all? We will discuss now. So he, the Tiruvenkad Ramanujayar, he was born in Maduramangalam in 1805. Eventually, after accepting sannyasa, he made his residence in Sri Perambudur, the birthplace of our Sripad Ramanujacharya. Those who ever go to generally Kanchipuram, they actually pass through Sri Perambudur. Traveling from Chennai to Kanchipuram, the vehicle will go via Sri Perambudur. That is the birthplace of Sripad Ramanujacharya. There we can see the ashram of Sri Trivindra Ramanujayar also. And it is he, while after sannyas, while traveling to different places in Melkote, he was reading through this section of Mahabharata. So when he read through section of Mahabharata, it is talking about some important geography of the Bharata Khanda. He draw the image and we will discuss now what is that and how and why he did that. The first shloka says that Sudarshanam Pravakshami Dvipam Te Kurunandana Parimandalo Maharaja Dviposau Chakra Samsita. All these verses are spoken by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. So Sanjay is talking about who are all the kings came from what are the different places to the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This discussion is happening before the battle begins in the Kurukshetra. So we are discussing from chapter 6. I think chapter 18 or 20 onwards, the Bhagavad Gita discussion will begin. Because it was Sanjaya only narrating Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra. What happened at the beginning of the battle. So before that, Dhritarashtra asked, who are all the kings came there, assembled there, and from what kingdom they came. So while describing the kingdoms of the different kings who assembled in the battlefield, Sanjay is speaking about these geography details. So he says that this Bharata Khanda is called Sudarshan Dvipa. Sudarshanam Pravakshami. This place, the 9th division of Bharata Varsha, is known as Sudarshanadvipa. Why? Since it looks beautiful to the eyes of the onlookers. Whoever look at this Sudarshanadvipa, having a Bharata Khanda, having gone into outer space, it looks very beautiful. That's why it is called Sudarshanadvipa. And it is circular. It looks like a disc of the Lord Sudarshana. It is called Sudarshanadvipa. It is attached to the cyclic time in the form of the disc presided by the god Sudarshana. Kala Chakra, it looks like the Kala Chakra. That's why also it is called as Sudarshanadvipa. So these are the various reasons why it is called Sudarshanadvipa. And in this shloka, there is a word Parimandala is used. In Sanskrit, Parimandala means it can be circle, it can be disc, it can be sphere. The different meanings are there. The translators of these shlokas, of course, this is Lord Sudarshana, this is Sudarshana Chakra. The translators of the shloka, they have taken the meaning of Parimandala to be spherical. Sudarshanadvipa is in the form of a globe, since all the four corners of this Bharata Khanda is rounded like a bale fruit. They compare Parimandala with the bale fruit. Parimandala is a globe, which is like a bale fruit. This is like the bale fruit. So it is spherical in nature. So then, fine. We are talking about Bharata Khanda, whose shape is like a Parimandala, a spherical shape like that of a bale fruit. Fine. Then what else? Vrikshai, Pushpa Palopetai, Sampanna Dhanadhanyavan, Lavanena Samudrena Samantat Parivarita. This 9th Khanda, which is known as Bharata Khanda, is also known as Sudarshanadvipa in Mahabharata. It is filled with lot of vegetation. It is full of trees covered with flowers and fruits, and with crops of various kinds, and with many other rich things. It is surrounded on all sides with salt ocean. The entire Bharata Khanda, which is Paramandala, like a spear-shaped Bharata Khanda, which is like a bale fruit, on its surface, it is filled with various flower plants and fruit plants, and also variety of vegetation. The sabji and so many things. It is filled with Dhana Dhanyavan. The wealth of Bharata Khanda is Dhanya, the variety of food grains, flowers, and fruits. That is the real wealth of Bharata Khanda. And this entire Bharata Khanda is surrounded by saltwater ocean. We saw in the previous picture the Bharata Varsha is divided in 9 divisions and saltwater ocean is there all around. That is there. Fine. Yatacha Purusha Pashye Dadrishe Mugamatmanam Evam Sudarshana Dvipo Drishyate Chandramandale. So every day morning we get up, take bath, and apply tilak. While applying tilak, we see ourselves in the mirror. Same way, if the Bharata Khanda considering himself to be a person and considering to the moon to be a mirror, if he sees himself in the mirror of the moon, then how does he look like? That is mentioned here. As a person can see his own face in a mirror, the nature of the Sudarshanadvipa is viewed from the moon, considering the moon to be a mirror. Dviramshe Pipalas Tatra Dviramshe Shesho Mahan Sarvaushadi Samavyapi Sarvata Paribramita. So in the morning, so like I'll start the video, you can see me also. In the morning, when we keep a mirror in front of us and apply tilak like that, and same way we can turn our face like this, and or we can turn our face like this, and we can see our back portion of the head also. When we see in the mirror, we see the front half of the face. When the mirror is in the back side, when we can see the back half of the head. So like that, Dvir Amshe, of the two parts of the bale fruit like Bharata Khanda, on one side, when he sees himself in the mirror of the moon, he sees Pipalas Tatra, a combination of people leaves. On one side, we can say the front side, he sees all the people tree leaves. On the other side, Dviram Shesha Shesho Mahan. On the second side, he sees Shesho Mahan, a great rabbit and a set of people lives. Pipcha refers to the people lives also there, and a great Shashi. A big people tree, a big great rabbit also is there. And then Sarvaushadhi Samavyapi. These people tree leaves and great Shashi are surrounded by different types of vegetation. And Apastatu Anne Vigneya Esha Sankshepa Uchate. And the remaining area is all filled with water. So when he sees in the front side, set of people leaves are there, and the remaining area is water. And the people leaves are surrounded by vegetation here and there. The remaining area is all water. When he sees backside, he sees a big rabbit, and also some people leaves which are surrounded by some kind of vegetation, but remaining area is filled with water. So Sri Tiruvenkada Ramanuja, after reading through these verses, he contemplated on the meaning of these verses. Then, based on the meaning of these verses, he draw the image. On one side, a combination of people tree leaves. On the other side, a people tree leaf and a rabbit with lot of vegetation surrounding here and there, etc., etc. So this was the picture he drew, but he was not sure what it makes. What does it mean? So in some time, he turned up and upside down the picture. Then he understood what the image described in the Mahabharata is meant. So this is the picture which is given in the Mahabharata. When it is superimposed upon the world map that was available around his time. Because he was born in 1805, he lived all the way up to 1880, during which Britishers were there in India and who traveled all over the world. They had the world map, and the picture drawn by Sri Tiruvenkada Ramanuja is almost or exactly or more or less matching with the world map with which we are familiar. So this is the world map. The rabbit is corresponding to Africa, Europe, Asia, etc. And the people tree leaf, Australia and other. The vegetation is corresponding to all these different islands around. Here the two big people tree leaves corresponding to North America and South America, like that. And other part of the vegetation are corresponding to other parts, etc., etc. And all the remaining area is filled with water. So this is the picture mentioned in the Mahabharata, which says, if Bharata Khanda, the Sudarshan seeing himself as a person in the mirror of the moon, in the front side he will see himself having a rabbit and people tree leaves, and the back side he will see himself having people tree leaves, something like that, front or back, whichever. That is matching to our modern day world map. So this is the picture of Bharata Khanda in the Mahabharata. That means Bharata Khanda is our earth globe. The complete earth globe with which we are familiar is Bharata Khanda. The other 8 divisions of Bharata Varsha have nothing to do with Bharata Khanda. And other part of Jambhudvipa, other Varshas like Kimpurusha Varsha and this Varsha, that Varsha have also nothing to do with Bharata Khanda. Bharata Khanda is only one of the tiny portion of Bharata Varsha, which is one of the tiny portion of entire Jambhudvipa. So this is Bharata Varsha. Within Bharata Varsha there are 9 divisions, and among them the 9th division is our earth globe. It is here like this. So there was a question about here there are Himalayas and there are Himalayas here also. These Himalayas are different from these Himalayas. These are different and these are different. The Himalayas which are there in India within Bharata Khanda, whose height is only 9,000 meters, 9 and 8, 9, about 10,000 meters, not even 1 yojana. But the height of these Himalayas are 10,000 yojanas. The width of these Himalayas are 2,000 yojanas. The width of these Himalaya mountains is 2,000 yojanas. The total width of Bharata Khanda itself is 1,000 yojanas. These Himalayas are twice the size of the Bharata Khanda. Then how can these Himalayas be the Indian Himalayas? Both are actually different. The Bharata Khanda somehow or other took the shape of the spherical shape. The shape of other dvipas within Bharata Varsha, we will discuss about that in one of the future presentations from Bhugola Varnam text that we will discuss later on. But for now, only Bharata Khanda picture only we have. Other pictures will come later on in the future discussions. So now, is it clear what is what and where are we and what is being discussed in the Bhagavatam, in the Vedic literatures, in the Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc.? How all these different things are connected and where are we located and what is the connection to us with Bharata Varsha, with Jambhudvipa, with the Bhumandala, etc., 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 etc. All these things are there. And then this is the complete picture drawn by Sri Thiruvenkat Ramanujari. He draw the picture of the entire universe, but currently we have discussed specifically this portion of the picture of the Bharata Khanda. You see, here rabbit is there and leaves are there, and we have discussed about this picture. He also draw the image of the entire universe. They are the 7 universal coverings, and here is Mount Meru. This is Jambhudvipa. Here is Bharata Khanda, and here Chariot of the Sun's chariot is there. This is Mansotar Mountain. These are different oceans and different islands of the Bhumandala. These are 7 lower planetary systems. There are 8 elephants carrying the entire Bhumandala upon them. And these are the upper planetary systems which are there here. This is Dhruvaloka. This is how eclipse happens. This is the chariot of the sun god with 1 wheel, etc. All these things are there. So now there is a small video. After that video, we'll take some questions about what we have discussed till now.
Srila Prabhupada's desire for the diagram was not to go unfulfilled. That elusive map was discovered by Srila Prabhupada's disciples at the holy village of Melukote, some 50 kilometers north of Mysore, Karnataka in India. This diagram accurately depicted the entire cosmology of Srimad Bhagavatam in an ingenious yet simple rendering. The person through whom it was revealed to the world was the 19th century scholar saint Tiruvenkata Ramanuja G.R. Swami. Born in Sri Perumbudur, Tamil Nadu, Tiruvenkata Swami went on to become an acharya or spiritual leader in the preceptorial line known as the Sri Sampradaya. He spent several years of his life in Melukote, which 900 years earlier had been the residence place of Sripad Ramanujacharya, the most prominent acharya of the Sri Sampradaya. At Melukote, in the 1,000-year-old temple, Tiruvenkata Swami studied and taught the Vedas and also worshipped the deity of Tirucheluva Narayan.
भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये.
One day, while studying the Mahabharata, a 5,000-year-old epic of ancient India, he came across some intriguing verses. In the 5th chapter of Jambhukanda, Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata, it is said,
Sudarshanam pravakshami dvipastu gurunandana parimandalo maharaja dvipoyam chakra samstita yato hi purusha pasyet darshanam mukhamatmana evam sudarshana dvipo drishyate chandramandale dviramshe pipalastatra dviramshe cha saso mahan sarvaushadhi samavayes sarvatah parivarita.
This Bharat Khanda is called Sudarshana Dvip, since it looks beautiful to the eyes of the onlookers. Being circular, it looks like the disk of the Lord, and it is attached to cyclic time in the form of a disk presided over by Lord Sudarshana. Bharat Khanda is in the form of a globe since all of its four corners are rounded like the bale fruit. When viewed from the moon, half of Bharat Khanda appears like the rabbit and a small peepal leaf, while the other half appears in the form of a big peepal leaf, with all of them surrounded by varieties of vegetation. Pondering the verses, he became perplexed. What on earth can a rabbit and peepal leaves have to do with geography or cosmography? As he sought to understand their meaning, he contemplated, meditated, and prayed. Finally, by divine inspiration, he sketched a drawing of the rabbit and the peepal leaves, but still remained mystified about their connection with the Earth's geography. Suddenly it dawned on him that if the drawing was turned upside down, the rabbit perfectly corresponded with Europe, Asia, and Africa, while the peepal leaves corresponded with North America, South America, and Australia. These continents comprise our Earth, which the Mahabharata calls Bharat Khanda. Vishnu Purana also describes the Earth as Bharat Khanda and gives its diameter as 8,000 miles. The Earth is also referred to by the name Bharat Khanda in the invocation Sankalpa mantra chanted by Brahmana priests since time immemorial up until the present day.
Jambhudvipe, Bharata Khande, Meroho, Dakshine Pash.
Vedic cosmology gives descriptions of the entire cosmos, including its subtle features. Perception and access to these subtle features, however, requires karmic qualification. Consequently, much of the cosmos described earlier, as well as parts of the cosmography about to be described, are imperceptible and inaccessible to us earthly inhabitants. Bharat Khanda is one of the 9 islands of the larger and originally bow-shaped Bharat Varsha, which was divided by the sons of Sagara. Being completely surrounded by water, the islands are mutually unreachable. In the Vedas, Bharat Khanda, our Earth, is also referred to by other names such as Sudarshan-dvip, Kumarika-dvip, and Navadvip, etc.
So, like that. Okay, any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Matush.
Prabhuji, the earth was shown floating in the water just now.
Ah, yes.
So is
It is Deepa, na? It is island, so it's supposed to float in the water.
Okay. So it like a ball, it is floating.
Ah, yes.
And what sea is that which we are
That is
seeing
saltwater
there?
ocean which is surrounding Jambhudvipa. See here, Jambhudvipa is there, na? Surrounding Jambhudvipa, saltwater ocean is there. That ocean
Yes,
only
yes.
surrounding Bharatkhanda and surrounding all the other islands of Bharatavarsha.
So is it one of the 5 oceans that we have on this Earth planet? This is, or
See,
it's
Mataji.
different?
See, on top of the earth, what is there? That is there. But this saltwater ocean is that which is surrounding Jambhudvipa. And the same saltwater ocean only enters into our earth globe and which is there in the form of all the 5 great oceans.
Okay, okay.
But one thing later on we will discuss that we are able to see the saltwater ocean which is there on top of this earth globe. But we can't see this saltwater ocean. Because this saltwater ocean is in touch with Jambhudvipa. It is actually subtle. Just like we can't see Jambhudvipa and all, we can't see the saltwater ocean also.
Okay.
So
it is
like
not
that.
visible to us.
No, it is not
Thank
visible.
you.
We can't see this.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, here we are seeing the Bharat Khanda has been divided into 9 divisions like that.
No. Bharata Khanda is not divided into 9 divisions. Bharata Varsha is divided into 9 divisions. The ninth
Sorry,
division is Bharata
Bharat
Khanda.
Varsha. Yeah, Bharat Varsha is divided into 9 parts, and the last part of it is Bharat Khanda. That is our earth, right?
Yes.
Is it a right understanding? Okay.
Yes.
So whatever that Muni drew the portion that is only of the whatever is there on the earth. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Prabhuji, when we are saying that Bharat Varsha has been divided, and which is a straight thing, like, and earlier also we had discussed now when we Jambhudvipa's 2 islands are like bow shaped. So it is like this is the last part of that.
This whole thing is
right?
bow shaped. Within that bow shaped Varsha, there are 9 divisions. These are the 9 divisions.
That is a 9 division. So where what we are saying Bharat Khanda is the last 9th part of that bow shaped thing. So which is a curved and on one side and straight on one side. Is it a right understanding? So then
it was like that. Originally when the division was there, it was like that. But eventually by the will of the providence, that curved kind of area became spherical. So only the spherical is here. This surrounding area, all these things, it became filled with water, covered by water. I don't know whether I have another image also. There should be one more image. The top. Maybe in the next presentations, it will come later on. A couple of images are there. So this is like isometric projection, so that's why you don't get it properly. When you see in the top, so this Bharatakanda, though it appears to be so big, but it's only in the middle because the remaining part all submerged by water. So somehow by will of the providence, it became like spherical and it is spherical.
Okay, so the bow shape changed, that means. And it became spherical. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, but then water which is there in this globe, it is from where it came, like it is this surrounding saltwater ocean.
This surrounding saltwater ocean only entered into our Bharatakanda and it is there all over the surface of the Bharatakanda.
Okay, so whatever it has already entered, only that much we have access. But whatever is outside that, we don't have access, right? Correct.
Even it is constantly entering into the Bharatakanda, just like you have a coconut tree. The water is there inside the earth, which is taken by the roots and it is supplied to the coconut on the top. Like that, the earth globe has a firm connection with this saltwater ocean down below. There is a constant supply of water which is coming up.
Okay.
Like a plant gets that water from the roots.
So we say from where the water comes in sea. So from this bigger sea, it is coming in this.
Like, it is constantly coming from the bigger ocean.
Okay. So that means in a way, indirectly, we have access to that sea, but the part only which enters inside, right?
It has firm connection, but we can't see. Why we can't see and all we will discuss later on in one presentation.
Okay. So only this part, the last part has been changed the shape into spherical. The other parts of the Bharat Varsha, they are the same the way it has been shown.
No, not like that. They also have a particular shape that we will discuss later on in the future.
Okay.
But since Bhagavatam is not talking about all these things, we are only taking reference from other scriptures and we are discussing one by one. So currently from Mahabharata, we are discussing about the 9th division. From other scriptures, we discuss about the remaining 8.
Okay.
So when that comes, that time we'll discuss.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Other devotees, you are okay?
Yes,
Mati.
Actually, too much of information. I'm not able to process many things.
There is not too much. So we discussed only little only today.
Yeah, but still it is too much for my brain. I was just thinking about the orbit of sun.
वाई ऑर्बिट ऑफ सन? अभी वो ऑर्बिट ऑफ सन के बारे में क्यों आ रहा है? अभी हम जो डिस्कस कर रहे हैं उसके बारे में सोचो, जो इधर नहीं उसके बारे में सोचो तो कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगा।
उसके कनेक्शन में मैं सोच रही थी कि
हाँ।
when we talk the day which is
हम्म
24 hours, right? Now the sun orbiting the entire Bhumandal, not just Earth planet.
यस, एंटायर भूमंडला, यस।
वो दिमाग में नहीं बैठ रहा। 24 आवर्स में कैसे पूरा भूमंडल का साइज, आई मीन जस्ट जम्बू द्वीपा
See,
में
it forget about कितना भी size हो, sun starting here and going around coming back here to this point 24 hours। एक राउंड करने के लिए 24 hours ले रहा है, बस उतना ही।
but it is not just Jambudvip, na, it is the entire Bhumandal, right?
Yeah, entire भूमंडला, let it be. The sun travels at high speed, is not like our motorbike। Hmm.
So I mean I'm not able to comprehend that. That's what the
No,
whole thing.
no
And
need to
just
comprehend. They are Devata, they are not human beings. They are Surya is actually Shakti Avesh Avatar, Supreme Lord. All the other Devatas, we may see them as Vibhuti. But Surya is actually Surya Narayana, is Shakti Avesh Avatar. Is Lord's Avesh himself. So he can travel. Why not? Who can stop him? He can make one round in 24 hours. Even he is taking 24 hours. It is too long. He should do much faster also.
wow. Okay.
So it is like that.
Also regarding this bow shape of Bharat Varsha, uh, what you said has become spherical, but the remaining part is still probably remaining the same way,
Not
na?
the entire
Thoda sa,
Bharatavarsha becomes spherical. So
yeah,
the
I
remaining
understood.
eight will be in some different shape. I'll tell you. The remaining eight will be like a mountain. How a mountain will be there? A mountain will be there like lengthy, and in the middle it is going to the top, tall thing. So like that, the shapes of the remaining eight elements are like a mountain. A straight, lengthy mountain. In the middle, it has long peak. So like that. Other eight varshas. With a thickness of 1000 yojanas, with a length of 50,000 yojanas, something like that. Whatever length here to here, utna length lamba lamba रहता है. और center में it has a peak like that, like this. It is a mountain like this. All the eight are somewhat shaped like this. That's what the picture given in the Bhugala Varna book. Only Bharata Khanda, instead of becoming like this, so this portion has been removed and it has become spherical goal at the center. Who removed it and when they removed, we don't know. But by the will of the Lord, it has become like this.
It's actually this entire studying is very humbling, because if you think ourselves, where do we stand? I mean, such a tiny, I mean, tiny is also not the right word, because just the Jambudvipa itself is so big. Then what to speak of Bhumandala, and then what to speak of the other planetary system, and then
Of
beyond the
course,
universe.
geographical point of view, we are very tiny, but our ahankara is so big.
That's what.
It does not accept our true position.
Exactly. I mean, this is really humbling, and honestly, Prabhuji, this is what you taught today is beyond my brain. Anyway, we'll have to. I mean, I'll have to see this again and again to understand. But thank you. If I have questions, I might just text.
No problem. So,
Hare Krishna,
maybe.
Prabhuji, sorry, one
Yes,
small.
yes, Madaji. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, we are seeing this Earth has become like a globe, but we also have studied in the. You have said that don't bring the what you have learned in the science, but we say that Earth is moving na at a great speed. So if it is a
Who
part
say
of
that? They are saying that Earth is moving great speed, but we are saying that this Bharata Khanda has a firm connection to this Bharata Varsha, the saltwater ocean, which is part of the bigger Bhumandala. If Earth is moving, means whole Bhumandala is supposed to move.
that's what I'm not understanding. That only how come this much part only is moving and the rest of the thing are stationary like.
So whether the rest of the things are moving or not, only this part is moving and all, we'll understand by the end of our discussion. So as of now, we are just touching the surface.
Okay. Thank you so much. Really.
So just to conclude this topic, of course, there are many more slides in this Bharata Khanda description, but just to give a proper understanding, some comparison vis-a-vis, we'll just go through a couple of slides and then close for today. It's already 8:30. So here, Surya Siddhanta says in one verse, indicating that the place on which we are living is a spherical indeed. Sarvatraiva mahi gole. Swasthanam uparistitam. Mannate ke ito golasya qua ordam qua apiyada. It says that the people residing on different parts of this earth globe, which is floating in the ether, as we see to our skin eyes, we see that our satellites have gone to the space and they are capturing the images of the earth globe and all. They are seeing that earth being suspended in the ether. There is no connection anywhere. But later in presentations, we see that the earth globe also has some connection, and why we are not able to see and all we'll discuss later on, etc. But as of now, for our physical perception, we see a spherical ball suspended in the ether, and everywhere people, somebody is here, somebody there, somebody there, everyone think that I am the top of the earth. So we, for example, this is Africa. India is also somewhat like that. We are actually standing on the earth like this, but we never feel ourselves standing like this. We always feel standing like this only. Our feet is downward, head is upward. And this fellow, South Africa or South America or Australia and all, is actually standing upside down. But does he ever feel like that? No. He also feels that I am standing in the topmost part of the earth globe. That is because of the gravitational force. All of us are pulled to the center of the earth. All of us are attracted to the center of the earth. And as a result of that, we wherever we may be, we always feel that I am on the topmost point of the earth. So like that. And now let us understand the nature of the earth globe. So this is the line of equator of the earth globe. Exactly in the middle, this is the North Pole, this is South Pole. A person in the mid-center Africa or India is like this. A person in the North Pole will be like this. South Pole will be exactly opposite. So now, in the beginning, we discussed that this is our entire universe. This is the Bhumandala. And just above the Bhumandala, the sun travels like this. And for our entire universe, this side is the true south, this side is the true north. The upper portion of the universe is true north, the bottom portion of the universe is true south. And the Bhumandala is exactly in the middle, and the sun is traveling on this. And our Bharata Khanda is here. This is Jambhudvipa, this is saltwater ocean, and Bharata Khanda is here on the southern edge of the Jambhudvipa. So you see now. So the earth globe is here, and the sun is traveling like this on the Bhumandala, and like this. And for a person standing in India, we stand like this. And the sun is traveling around us like this. But we don't experience sun is, our experience is that, so in this room, I'll start the video of mine, you can see me. So in this room, I see every day morning, so here, the sun is rising here in front of me. This is the eastern side for us. And the sun will be setting here behind me in the evening. And this is north, and this is south. This is actually true north of the entire universe. This is true south of the entire universe. And sun will be traveling like this. Because India is very close to the line of equator and we stand like this. Though sun is traveling around the Bhumandala like this, around Mount Meru and around the globe, the North Pole is here, South Pole is here, India is somewhere in the middle. And see, our experience is like this. For a person standing on the North Pole, every day he will see sun traveling around him, sun doing parikrama around him. This is the Bhumandala, this is the Earth globe. Same thing for a person standing at 60 degrees latitude. He will see sun is moving in a slightly inclined plane. For a person who is at 30 degrees latitude, he will see sun is traveling in a largely inclined plane. Finally, for a person on the line of equator, like us in India, we are just above line of equator. We see that sun is going up and down. That's what we see. Sun rising here, in the afternoon is above my head, in the evening behind me setting, in the midnight below my feet, going up and down. That is because the earth is spherical in nature. Though Shastra says, Mahabharata says its picture is like this, so and so Parimandala word is taken as spherical. How can somebody may question? How can you take Parimandala spherical? It can be like circular also, like this, like that. Why not? But This experience is real. This experience is mentioned in the Bhagavatam also, in other Puranas also. We can actually see also. People, some of us might have traveled to many places. Currently, we are here in India. Yet sometimes some of us might have gone to North America or other parts or Northern Europe. In the Northern Europe, the experience will be like this. The sun will be traveling like this. So it is like that. In North America, the experience of the sun's travel will be like this. In India, it is like this. So it is there. Somebody goes to North Pole, they can have this experience of sun's travel also. So all these things are there. We cannot deny. All these experiences will tell us the earth on which we are living indeed is a sphere. So it's like that. It is basically the Shabda and Pratyaksha correlating to each other. And one more explanation where Shabda and Pratyaksha correlate to each other. The Pratyaksha, the modern science says that the mean diameter of the earth, the average diameter of the earth is 12,742 kilometers. The diameter measured at the equator. So the equator diameter here to here and the diameter here to here. Science says that this diameter is lesser than this diameter. You see, diameter of the equator is 12,756. Diameter of the poles is 12,713. Little less, but the mean diameter is overall average diameter of the earth is 12,742 kilometers. So according to Bhagavatam and other Puranas, so Bharata Varsha is 9,000 yojanas and it has 9 parts. Bharata Khanda is one of the 9 parts. Its diameter is and its width is 1,000 yojanas. 1 yojana is 8 miles, so 8,000 miles. 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. So 12,872 kilometers approximately. These numbers are also not exactly 1.609, but 12,872, 12,742. Whatever measurements given by modern science about our Earth globe, which is 12,742 kilometers in diameter, same thing in all the Puranas, Siddhanta Shastras, etc. So we are not talking about something else and discussing something else. So like that, when Bhagavatam is telling it is 1,000 yojanas, yeah, it is matching to modern observation. So both of us are talking about the same thing only. Though Surya Siddhanta says the earth globe diameter is 1600 yojanas, not 1000. But why it is saying 1600 yojanas? According to Surya Siddhanta, diameter is measured by walking on the surface of the earth globe. If you walk on the surface of the earth globe from one side to other side, from bottom to top, you will get the diameter. Actually, it does not travel like that. It says that if you travel so and so distance, you will cover 1 degree of the earth globe. So for 180 degrees from here to here, it would be 1600. So what would be the value of 1 degree? 1600 by 180. So 160 by 180. So almost somewhat similar to 10 yojanas or something like that. Somewhat near to that. That is what is mentioned there. So the half of the area covered by us will be 1600 yojanas. But actually for the actual geometry, this would be equal to half the diameter of the circle. So this will be half the diameter. So then what would be the actual diameter? Actual diameter is equal to total circumference divided by pi. The total circumference would be double to the 1600. 2 times 1600 by pi. 1019 yojanas. The same Suryadanta also gives a formula for the actual diameter. It says that the Bhu Paradhi is equal to square root of 10 into d square. So before the pi being used, they were using square root of 10 as 3.16228 into d. Then the diameter is equal to total circumference divided by 3.16. The total circumference is 2 times 1600. Then it becomes 1012, which is also 1000. Those Shastras might give different numbers, but they are also correlating with Puranic description. So in this way, what is being said, what is being observed, they are same. They are not. They are talking about the same entity known as Bharata, the Earth globe. So like that, we can see. So we'll stop here. Finally, any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Matish.
Prabhuji, this Surya Siddhanta, what is it? Is it a part of the Upanishads or?
No.
When was
Upanishads
it
are
written?
part of 4 Vedas. In addition to 4 Vedas, there are 4 Upavedas and 6 Vedangas. Nirukta, Vyakarana, Chandas, Jyotisha, Kalpa, like that. There are 6 Vedangas are there. So one of the 6 Vedangas is Jyotisha. So there are so many Jyotish Shastras. Surya is one among the many Jyotish Shastras. So it is like that.
Okay. So it must have been written
By Vyasdev. It is compiled by Vyasdev himself. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
It was existing before Vyasdev compiled, but for our benefit, Vyasdev put it into book form.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Other devotees have any questions? Finally, we'll stop here for today.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can I ask?
Yes, continue.
Now, I was just thinking that you refer to many, you were quoting from different scriptures, and Mataji also asked one of them. So, you have access to those scriptures and you studied them?
Yeah. Currently, my PhD is on this only, Surya. So this book is there. Yeah, Bhakti wrote in Bengali. No? The Sanskrit scripture, he translated into Bengali and gave some notes. And Danvir Goswami Maharaj translated that into English. And currently I'm working on this only. My PhD topic is Surjanta. But anyway, this I think, these things are there from the beginning, and for many years I was quoting this particular slide. It is already there.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to understand.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. The 16th chapter, 3rd verse, it is mentioned that Maharaj Parikshit had already been advised by his spiritual master Shukadev Goswami to think of the universal form of the Lord. And therefore, following the advice of his spiritual master, he was continuously thinking of that form. So, why was Parikshit Maharaj advised to think of the universal form of the Lord when he was
No. Srila Prabhupada was referring to, in the 2nd canto, 1st chapter, there was a discussion about universal form, which is the object of meditation. So, keeping that in mind, Srila Prabhupada is writing like that. But Srila Vishnu Chakra says that actually Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj is not asking for himself. He is asking this question for the benefit of some of the yogis who are sitting in the assembly. Parikshit Maharaj himself is a great devotee. He want to hear and meditate upon Lord's pastimes. But some of the yogis who cannot meditate upon Paramatma or Bhagavan, they need to have some object of meditation. So they meditate upon universal form. So for their benefit, Parikshit Maharaj is asking these questions.
Okay.
Like that he says.
Okay. And one more thing, Prabhuji, in 24th shloka regarding that banyan tree, from there the rivers flow, it is mentioned that because of these flowing rivers, all the people have ample supply of milk, yogurt, etc. And then clothes and beddings and sitting places and ornaments. So how does milk and things like ghee, that much is understood, like it is a flowing thing, but how come the bedding and clothing and sitting places that come from the river?
How the clothing is made?
From cotton, usually means.
Cotton or silk and all. They also there is something is there. They actually boil, they extract. Cotton also is they like the pulpy thing.
Yeah.
So how they make thread from that is there. And how yoga mat is made?
I don't know.
There is some synthetic rubber which is melted. Then it is put into a particular embedded thing. So when you put it in that, and it becomes eventually dried, and it becomes soft cushion. This thing. For example, the metal things you might have observed. The metal things, they are melted and put into one particular object where that much gap is only there. The melted thing is occupying that much area, so it becomes into that particular shape. So like that.
Right.
So same way we can think of, here some river is there. Constantly the water is flowing. You take out, and put it in a particular way, it takes that shape. The clothing can be made, the small threads can be extracted from that flowing gum or whatever. It can create bricks also, it can create everything that need, so something like that you can think of. That's how I think.
Yeah. So, and what it mean by sitting place, Prabhuji, means the chair or stool
Sitting
like
places
that?
means all the cushion and all chair ke upar cushion hai. Cushion is made up of clothing na for us. So that's why I gave the example of the yoga mat. Yoga mat is also cushion.
Right. Yeah.
The molten rubber has been spread across flat. It becomes yoga mat. It can become seat, cushion, and all these things. Everything like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for today's class. We have learned so much today. Thank you so much. And Prabhuji, if we have to read like from the Bhagavatam, what exactly we should read? Because
I have
there are
shared
some
slides, na 16 chapter slides I shared, and 17 chapter and 19 chapter slides also I'll share. That slides also you read, and also you read Bhagavatam, whatever Prabhupada gives, commentaries, etc.
The 17th chapter we should read, or 17th also and 19th also, like that.
I will share the slides. I will share tomorrow sometime,
because,
so you can read
because
that. You can read
part,
whatever.
yeah, some part
The
was from
prayers we
19th.
will do after 20th chapter. Till 20th chapter will continue. Then we'll do the prayers.
Okay, so you please share what exactly we are supposed to read, because then it is confusing.